Okay, welcome to my first live stream for Arcade Spirits. Not my first live stream entirely because I did live stream all of When the Night Comes by the North Kings. Arcade Spirits is a completely different company, but it's actually my first visual novel that I ever played, and I just fell in love with it. Has a great story, great characters, great art, great music, great voice acting, and it just set the bar really high. It was not the first visual novel that I bought. That was actually Dream Daddy, which I still have not finished. I started it, but I have not finished it, so that says something about it. Um, but I watched someone else live stream Arcade Spirits, and that inspired me to keep playing. And then they started live streaming some other visual novels, so that led me to When the Night Comes and their games, and then Andromeda 6. So I have some, I'm pretty picky, and so I keep coming back to Arcade Spirits because I love the story. So what we're going to do is, my plan is, I have 100% of the game, just saying this right out of the gate. But I'm going to do this run through as if it is actually me. I know people were supposed to do that at the beginning, but my initial run through was definitely influenced by who I am as a person, but it wasn't completely representative of me. So let's get started. Database system online. New profile detected. Analyzing. Analyzing. I will not generally do voices, but I just have I like computer voices are fun. New profile number 237771. Economic bracket, lower middle. Employment category, bleak. Current emotional health rating, low. Well, that's not encouraging. Ideal candidate for premium level assistance. Proceed. Negative. Premium level assistance re-requested. Proceed. Negative. Ready, please? Negative. Overriding denial of assistance, establishing premium services for profile number 237771. Justification? Hope. Hope should be rewarded. Spirit must be restored. Now compiling personal metadata. Now this is pretty cool. I love this character creation screen. So, pronouns are she because I do identify as she. Hairstyle. Now, do we go with the hairstyle I would like to have or the hairstyle that I do have? And actually, it's kind of in between these two. I'm growing it out, but right now it's still pretty short. Skin tone. I am pale, but not that pale. Yeah, that's about right. Hair color. Mm, Actually, that is pretty darkest brown because my hair is pretty dark. No, I have red undertones. That's why I dye my hair red occasionally because it brings out those red undertones. Eye color, blue. Nope, too dark. Would it be light blue? Let's go with light blue. Clothing color. I like wearing blue. Um, there we go, Dodger blue. I was born and raised a Dodger fan. I admit it now. I live in Southern California. Name. Alrighty. Now we could go with just Donna or Jess. Let's go with just Donna. Oh, not done. Last name. Hmm. So what we're gonna do is we're going to change the name again. We're going to go with Jess. Oops. Okay, excuse me. Jess. Hannah. There we go. Okay. Name, pronoun, hairstyle, skin tone, hair color, eye color, clothing color. Yep, that's everything. So this is going to be fun. So we're going to save here. As you can see, these are other saves that I have. This game I did not, this playthrough I didn't finish and I'm not going to finish, so we will save over it. And is this correct? Yes, that's correct. Premium level assistance for profile number 237771, Jess Donna, has been activated. I have water, so I will occasionally be taking drinks. For the sake of her hopes and dreams. The following is a work of fiction. All references to trademark classic arcade game titles are used under nominative fair use and should not be considered endorsement of them or their publishers or creators or whatever the last of that was. I remember that. Yeah, Fiction Factory Games. I can't remember the name of the company. This is taking me back because I basically watched the computer boom happen as I grew up. My parents had one of the earliest personal computers. It was a Tandy, I think. And for as far back as I can remember, we have had at least one computer in our house. It got to the point where we had to set a timer so that we would let each other have turns. Otherwise, one of us would monopolize the computer. And there are 4 kids and 2 parents in the family. So, of course, if Dad wanted the computer, then Dad got the computer because Dad. So, it is the future year 20XX, a dark era in which mankind is pushed to the brink of catastrophe. Woe be to the human race, plagued by evil, terrifying, utterly sinister. I don't know. Robots, maybe? Evil robots? How's that work? Yeah, no, sorry. The future year 20XX is pretty much what you would expect it to be. Non-flying cars, smartphones, pro gamers, celebs. Sounds about right. Internet trolls, personal assistant AI, cheese-flavored snack foods. Oh, my favorite cheese-flavored snack food is Cheetos Cheese Puffs. But normally my family likes them, so I don't get them very often. But even with such wonders as 20XX holds, to date I've had no part in any of them. I've worked as a dishwasher, a shoe salesperson, and lifeguard for the local community pool. The last sounds fun, but I don't swim. But this is a game. I don't care what era of human history you live in, kitties peeing in the pool is pretty much a constant thing. Trust me on this. You're in water. That's going to affect certain functions. As for the bustling metropolis of 24-hour neon utopia you see here, my little corner of it isn't nearly as shiny and cool. Let me show you. Behold my quaint little apartment. I love the artwork here. I don't remember who the background artist is, but this is gorgeous. I love little details, clothes on the couch, the mud sitting out. You know, it has a very lived-in look to it, and I like the little detail of the crack there and the damage here. And sure, it's not the best apartment, but it's an apartment. Can't complain, really. It's paradise in a relative sense. I only pay half the rent. Neighborhood staffings have been down this year. Also, my roomie picks up any stray socks or shirts I leave lying around. I personally wouldn't do that, but that's because I've been trained to put my dirty clothes in the hamper. In fact, as things go, I'm living large compared to most of my family tree. Or at least I was before today. Enter this first NPC. I love her design. I think, yeah, right click. Can we just admire this? And plus, one thing I want to note, she is plus size, which is what I am. Unfortunately, that part of the player character design was non-negotiable. But still. And as you can tell from the text box, her name is Juniper. The horrified-looking young woman there would be my roommate and childhood friend, Juniper. Juniper is the one who spearheaded this effort to co-rent an apartment. She's also the one who encourages me whenever I lose a job. But, you know, today. School's closed, Juniper. Not much I can do about that. Why get upset? Sounds sensible to me. Because you actually enjoyed that job more than you enjoyed dishwashing soap and smelling socks at the very least. I'm not the complaining sort. These things just happen. Things fall apart. The center does not hold. That's a bit morbidly poetic, isn't it? No, I mean the community center literally fell apart and the pool won't hold water anymore. Whatever, I'll just get another job. Any job will do as long as we can make the rent, right? Wrong! I saw how mopey and tired you were coming home every night from those other crappy jobs. At least when you got back from the pool each day, I sometimes caught you smiling. I thought you hated your job. No deflecting. This is about you. My mind's made up. We're going to find you a job that's just as good, if not better, than the lifeguarding job. Let's start from the top. What's your dream? Well, I'm there in front of class, give a speech, and I forgot to put my pants on, and your dream job. Now, me personally, my dream job would be something that would let me be a writer and do something with history. So far, I haven't figured that out yet. Oh, I don't know, Juniper. I've never really given it any serious thought. Oh, hey, I think I've got just the thing to help you out. Tap, 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 tap. Juniper pulls out her phone, rapidly tapping an unlock code onto the glass before pointing out a little pink icon. It's a virtual life coach app. Mine keeps me from being late to meetings. Totally free, too. My cousin introduced it to me. Wasn't he the guy who ended up in the ER after making a homemade flamethrower? It would have worked if he got the fuel mixture in his water gun right. Flamethrower and a water gun. Aren't those usually plastic? Anyway, I'm sending the copy to you now. I got a pop-up an hour ago offering me 500 points just for recommending it to a friend. Great timing, huh? Well, as long as you're earning points, I guess. At least give it a try, okay? Maybe I can point you at some good jobs, ones with less socks and or urine. I'll think about it. Okay, but don't think too long, right? In the end, I installed the app. Couldn't bear to see Juniper fretting over me like that. Not that I find it annoying. I mean, it's more that she has enough trouble in her life without troubling herself over my life, too. Thanks for noticing me. Both of us had it rough up to and through the point where we left home to try and start a new life, a better one. She deserves better than me and my problems. Bless her heart, she means well. Oh, bless your heart. She's been firmly in my corner for all my life, the two of us against any dark forces aligning against me. But that's not to say she's good at being my advocate. Enthusiastic, yes, but skilled, nope. Typically, the fantastic opportunities and self-help resources she sends my way are pyramid schemes or something. She's gung-ho about lending me a helping hand, but yeah. So the main reason I went ahead and installed the app was to make sure Juniper wasn't about to get her kidney sold on the black market or something. Still, no sense messing around with it now. A good night's rest would act as a neat little emotional reset button, right? Right. No dreams, no nightmares, just 8 hours of sweet, sweet black. I get that sometimes, but other times I do not get sleep through the night. By the time morning light leaked in through the cracks in the blinds, I didn't care anymore about being unemployed again. Juniper had already left to catch a bus to her office. She typically leaves before dawn, but she left a note for me, pinned to the tiny fridge we shared. Remember, download app, find dream job, make money, sort your life out. I believe in you. So, moment of truth. Do I trust in Juniper's weird little app, or just go find some job that pays well enough to cover the bills? Now, of course, we're playing the game, so of course we're going to give the weird little app a shot. Figuring at the very least a miracle app could possibly help me find a job, I loaded up, tapped the icon, and okay, see, that's what I mean. Anybody else would freak out over a cute girl climbing out of their phone. Me, I went, huh. Also, it's one of those new kind of 3D screens, so, not actually magical realism here, just very normal in the distant future year 20XX. Definitely not 2020. This has not been a fun year. Not for me, especially school-wise. I have ADHD, and distance learning is not fun. And for anyone who's not part of the fandom, that's become a bit of a meme, I guess you could say, in the fandom for Arcade Spirits. But it's fun. Now, just for the hell of it, I'm going to say no thanks, because I know what happens when you do. But we're going to go back, because I like useless trivia. I like the way she said, partner. Pretty tall order for an act to do. Or are you some sort of wish-granting genie? Well, I suppose in the modern parlance, a massively interconnected database searching virtual assistant could be considered a kind of genie in a bottle. There's actually a line later that I think not a lot of people realize is actually is a reference back to this, but that's not for a few chapters. But honestly, all I can do is give you the chance to improve your life. What you do with it is up to you. I can cross-reference search data for you, but without motivation, you won't get anywhere. I glanced up from my phone at the heaps of laundry and half-finished books and other items strewn about my apartment. Motivation is something I have a ton of. Honest. Yeah, it depends on what I need to motivate myself to do. That's super. I'm really looking forward to working with you. Before we begin, do you have any questions? Sure. Why should I use this app at all? I mean, my phone already had a voice-activated assistant AI. I can just say, hey, phone, search the web for job listings, and it'd work just as well. But I have an advanced emotional language interpreter. I'm smarter than the average program, with more heart. I can help you sort your life out by analyzing your personality and finding you a perfect path in life. All thanks to my glorious, wondrous, patent-pending, super-duper identity identifier system. Between you and me, they really wanted an acronym that matched my name, but couldn't figure out what to do with the letter R. R. Would you like to know more? So this is a tutorial. I'm going to go ahead and go through it just in case anybody watching this has never played Arcade Spirits before. Every time you think about saying something, I can tag it with an identity. That way you can be the sort of person you want to be. This system allows me to better understand who you are and what you need from life. I do this by analyzing your tone, inflection, and word choice. I can spot 5 different identity identifiers in your responses to people: quirky, steady, kindly, gutsy, and basically. Sounds to me like your programmer has also wanted a bunch of things ending in Y. That's correct. My branding game is on point. Quirky responses use jokes, snark, and sarcasm to make light of their situation. Just the thing for picking up someone's spirits, but a badly timed joke may not win over the room. Steady responses are sincere, honest, and logical. When you stop and think before speaking, you're on steady ground, but that might not take someone's feelings into account. Kindly responses are compassionate and empathetic, and gentle in nature. They're careful with the feelings of others, but they're sometimes a bit wishy-washy as a result. Gutsy responses go with your gut. When you're brash, bold, risk-taking, and instinctive, you're gutsy. But it also means being confrontational and aggressive, so be careful. Lastly, you can always take a basically option. It's a balanced and neutral response, safely moving the conversation along while learning more and digging deeper. Over time, I'll build up a personality profile for you based on the identity identifiers detected in your speech. Maybe you'll be predominantly quirky, genuinely steady, a mix of both. Who knows? It's up to you. So what you're saying is I should always try to crack jokes or be super gutsy? Oh, I never speak basically. I mean, being basic's bad, right? It sounds bad. Heck no, they're all useful in the right context. There are no bad choices. Consider what you could say and go with what feels right in the moment. Don't limit yourself. I'm sure you could gamify your personality, but it's more fun to let it happen naturally. Just be you. I like that slight metagaming moment there. Now, let's see my patent-pending identity identifier system in action. How do you feel about dad jokes? Hi, jokes. I'm Dad. I don't tell non-jokes. Sorry. What's a dad joke? Now, honestly, I love dad jokes. So, hi, jokes. I'm Dad. Seriously? Seriously? Hey, I never said I was good at dad jokes, just that I could go for them. So now that you've seen the identity indicators in action, do you want to see the indicators like that so you can make an informed decision? If not, I can hide the indicators. Keep it a surprise. That way, it doesn't influence your decision making. It's up to you. So we're going to hide the indicators because with this run through, I don't want to gamify my personality. So mysterious. Okay, I'll hide them from you. You'll always be able to spot basically responses, though. Anyway, as we go along, I'll analyze and tally your identity identifiers. In fact, let me show you now. When you look at that, that's a strong personality. You ask me a single question. Off to a great start, I'd say. And hang on, you're scoring me? Didn't you say not to gamify my personality? Hey, I said you shouldn't. I'm an app. I think in numbers, so I gotta gamify it a little. Anyway, studies show that achievements, or Cheetos, as the kids say, encourage app engagement. I know in World of Warcraft they're called the cheese, but I don't know if that's changed. Okay, well, what's with the empty space on the left? Oh, I also track vocal responses from people you meet. Once you get to know some folks, I'll let you know how well you're getting along with them over there. Relationship scores. Wonderful. So will you also tell me what the correct responses are to avoid making enemies? Or do I need to go find a walkthrough for the vast game you're making of my daily life? Jess, you're looking at this the wrong way. Generally, people won't get super annoyed at you unless you deliberately and repeatedly provoke them. It'll be obvious when you're doing that. I promise you that if you bungle a few social encounters, it won't really hurt anything. No cheating needed. Just relax and have fun. You can access your scorecard anytime you like with the Q key, or click on the score in the upper right corner of your screen. This right here. Ta-da! And then return to game. And that's everything. Ta-da! Okay, but how is any of that supposed to help me get a job? I only downloaded this app because my roomie claims you're a great life coach for the unemployed. What good will taking the quiz off the back of a supermarket checkout rack magazine do with that? You can talk to ghosts? Is there a ghost in the room right now? Am I a ghost? You have to tell me if I'm a ghost. That's the rule. No, silly. Romance? Seriously? Seriously, often you can find your soulmate and your dream job in the same place. But if you'd rather focus on gainful employment for now, that's fine too. Workplace dating. Well, that's a recipe for disaster, and hitting on coworkers right from day one can be kinda awkward. Or am I looking for love and ready to start right out of the gate? Never get a second chance to make a first impression. To meet the right person, why put it off? How do I want to handle this new opportunity? So this is just this is you telling the game how you want to handle it. Do you want to flirt with the potential love interest right from the start? Do you want to wait a bit before you start flirting, or do you not want to flirt at all? That's a good question. I know what I'm ultimately going to do in terms of the romance, but it doesn't mean I can't have a little fun. So let's go with this one. I think I'm mature enough to juggle both at once. Why not? Super. And remember, the choice is yours. If you're not comfortable with other people, stay professional. Now, let's get started. To finish analyzing your personal history, please authorize me to read your social media feeds and personal information metadata. Aha! I knew it. This is some kind of scam. I'm going to wake up in a bathtub of ice missing a kidney. Sure, I can help you register as an organ donor. I've already done that. Oh, you were being sarcastic. Sorry, I haven't quite finished analyzing your personality. I couldn't tell. Relax, I won't share your information with any third parties. This is strictly so I can find your dream job. Am I authorized? Another wonderful Juniper recommendation here, just like the 17 self-help books on my shelf. Still, 18th time's charm, right? Yeah, go ahead. It's kind of catchy. So, do I just stand here, or thank you for waiting. I've identified your dream job and arranged an interview 30 minutes from now. Please put on some nice clothes. Nicer than those, please. I don't think that's too much to ask. What? For your interview, silly. You want to look your best. But we just had, okay, how did you land my dream job in 20 seconds flat? Simple. I'm awesome like that. Now get a move on. Tap, tap. You need to catch the 8:20 a.m. bus, and that's 9 minutes away. Well, this is happening. But I do have a chance to get off this runaway train. Nobody says I have to obey my new digital fairy godmother. I could delete the app and go find a real job. That'd be the safest option. I could get dressed for jobs. Iris's job interview, or stop this before it's too late. This is another chance to back out. By the way, backing out, not using the app, it does give you an achievement. I already have an achievement. So, a normal person, someone with high standards, would delete the app right there rather than half of us to meet up with what were very likely men with stress knives and a taste for kidneys. But me, I was already getting dressed before she'd finished that sentence. Not that I believed the silly app's claims that serving my hopes and dreams on a silver platter. Honestly, I expected another shoe salesman job, at best. But, well, now this is the first time, this is the first choice that starts really depicting your personality. And your choices in terms of personality will affect things you say and your internal monologue, basically. So it'll be worth a laugh, at the very least. I chose to trust in the science. What is my dream anyway? What the hell? Let's do this. Like I always say, go with the flow. And as you can see, we do have the icon for the basically option, but the other icons are hidden. So I can kind of guess which one's which. I mean, that second from the bottom is definitely gutsy. And that's definitely not me. Do I trust my science? Well, that's not me. This one. As much as I genuinely enjoyed being a lifeguard, I can't say I found true direction in life yet. I'd assumed I never would, honestly. When I was young, yeah, I guess I had hopes, I had dreams, maybe even what Iris called a spirit. After things went south for my family, I learned to put all that aside. But assuming Iris wasn't out for my kidneys, what if it's not too late? So I thought, one last time. One last time, I'll have some optimism, some faith. And as I came to realize weeks later, it turns out I was right to have faith in my spirit. New background. I do like the sound effects. I haven't talked about those. But I actually hear them better with my headphones in. I didn't hear catch the bus sounds the first time. Hindi barber shop, that's fun. Whole story, and there's a book. What's that about? And of course, complex law offices at Smith Johnson, attorney at law. Lots of office space for rent. 555, 555, 555. Loan office. Boring clothing store. Delightfully dull. And one car in the parking lot. Oh, and look at that in the barbershop window. It's Fendi. I hope they don't get sued for that. The bus drops me off, oddly enough, not very far from Juniper's office building, although my destination isn't nearly as upscale as that. This is, well, it's a strip mall. Strip malls are relics of 19XX, places where a random assortment of weird little businesses jam as many of themselves into as tight of those space as possible. There are quite a few of those where I live. Of course, we're part of the metropolis that basically stretches from Los Angeles to San Bernardino in Southern California. So somewhere in that mishmash is where I live. For instance, I'm seeing a dentist, a used bookstore called The Whole Story, an arcade, a fast food joint, and a boarded up health spa once called Lattes and Enemas, which sounds, what do you think? I think that's two things no human being should ever combine. No, I mean about your future place of work. I'm desperately hoping we're not talking about the same thing. Which one of these businesses exactly am I working at? I don't know anything about oral hygiene or old books, and I'd rather not be a fry cook. I personally would probably know some stuff about books. I love to read. The one in the middle, silly. What? behind the arcade? It is the arcade. Huh. Trust me on this. I reference and cross-reference and cross-reference your personality details, personal history, and social media connections. This is your dream job. My dream job? Really? I should probably explain my confusion. Arcades are big business in the entertainment sector. Pro gamers are celebs, five-star arcades are social hotspots, so it's been popular with the mainstream. But, well, restaurants are popular too, right? And for everybody who opens one hoping to be the next Iron Chef, a dozen more shut down in failure. Arcade competition is fierce. Paydays range from peanuts to gold, ensure those who make it can secure fame and fortune, but those who don't, well, no wonder Iris sees this as a dream job. Video games weren't always as popular, though. I read an interesting article about it once. Back in the year 1980X, we narrowly avoided a serious industry crash, which would have left video games as the kids' toy had, like hula hoops. No mainstream acceptance. For instance, one of the factors could have been a terrible game based on a kid's movie about a cute alien visitor who wanted to phone home. I wonder which movie they're talking about. If this game was complete poop butts, like poop from a butt, and massively overproduced, it ruined video games for years. Fortunately, cooler heads prevailed, and that game was delayed until it could be developed properly, and the crash was averted. The crisis only exists in theory now. Well, in this timeline, yes. In our timeline, no. It was a reality. Sometimes I wonder what it'd be like for people in the darkest timeline where everything went wrong. Are gamers considered nerds and outcasts? Are arcades vanishing points of nostalgia? Yes. The mind boggles. But make no mistake, as popular as they are, the arcade industry is a dodgy, risky prospect for a job. Plenty make a run at it, only to come up short. Considering Iris was tasked with getting me a job I'd enjoy and could keep for more than a few months, this left me a bit confused. Iris, this isn't me saying no. It's an interesting prospect, but, are you sure about this? You say you're 99% sure. Won't this be like my lifeguard job, though? Satisfying but short-lived? This arcade doesn't exactly look like a 5-star. It's no Deco's Palace, that's for sure. And to be perfectly honest, I haven't stepped foot inside an arcade in 15 years. Huh, I remember really enjoying arcades when I was a kid. I wonder why I stopped going to them. Iris interrupts that thought, eager to show off her homework. Trust me, when I said I was 99.97% sure, I meant it. That's not some arbitrary number. I'm designed to be a bit silly and logical, but my math is deadly serious. My coders made me to be the warm, personable front of a database array that's currently laser targeted on getting you exactly what you need, right here, right now. And when this place inevitably collapses and I lose my dream job, what makes you think that's going to happen? Because it does. It always does. I don't think your database accounts for my family curse. We've always had to, compromise, settle, because things rarely work out. You always have to be ready for the worst. I try to take things in stride these days. Does that mean you shouldn't even try? I open my maps for a test and then close it. As often as my life tends to crumble out from under me, it's not like she was wrong. I still had to try. And besides, what is my dream anyway? Call back to the reason that you decided to go ahead and go to the job interview. So this changes depending on what you chose. That's what I was asking myself when I left the house this morning. I don't know what I want from life. I've been coasting endlessly for years. When things started running downhill for my family, I had to grow up fast. Put aside silliness like wanting to be an astronaut and take what I could get. Who hasn't dreamt about being an astronaut, going out in space? Now, thanks to Iris, I've got a shot at taking something a little better than what I usually get. I owe it to myself to try and be happy and paid, not just paid. So I have to push on through those doors and see what waited for me on the other side. Now, my family didn't visit arcades very much, and when we did, I never really played the games because I was never really very good at them. But I suppose if we had gone to the arcades more often, I would have gotten better. But I just didn't have the patience, and our parents didn't have the money. The air conditioning hits me like a cool breeze, albeit once not in a proper and corn chips. It's early in the morning on a weekday. It's not too packed with gamers. So it's so packed with games, I'd probably have a hard time finding anyone anyway. At once I'm struck by something odd. I actually recognize most of these games. Neat! Considering I haven't walked into an arcade in over a decade, that's probably not great. Lots of vintage stuff here from looks at it, like really old. And I don't know if you guys can hear it, but there's the background noise, a typical background noise that you would hear in an arcade. Although I don't recognize that game with the stage lights and things. Maybe it's karaoke or dancing? Japanese import? Checking. That would be Showtime Stage, a collaboration of Nihana Heavy Industry Concern and Hubris Records in Germany. It's won a lot of awards. I hadn't noticed before, but the E is not lit up here. That's funny. Huh. I recognize most of these. Whoa, is that seriously a Mr. Moopy's Magic Maze? But the one in the middle with the split screens is new to me. Just a discomfort. A hybrid real-time strategy and brawler beat 'em up. It's actually not that new. It's been a staple of the esports scene for the last 8 years. Two genres I was utterly lousy at last time I checked. And over here is an old lady. Can we just enjoy this character design here? You can see right away that she's really fun and quirky and loves her games. And she's got Pac-Man earrings and a nice big chunky necklace. Oh, and she has the cherries on the other ear. And like any old lady, she's knitting. Um, Sorry, ma'am. I was just talking to myself and had an overwhelming urge to complete my sentences. Thankfully, I don't think she even registered me calling her old. She looks up from her knitting, seated behind a ticket prize redemption desk, and offers a wrinkly smile. The what? Fun fact, is that when you suplex a clown? A genie in my phone set up a job interview for me. He reference to, Iris, there we go. But their name for him as a genie. You've been in business for that many years? Bum, 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 bum. Which one? I mean, um, I know one of the writers was said, don't be afraid to pick the basically options, but apparently a lot of players are trying to avoid doing that, so they're changing things around because they are writing a sequel to this game. So they're changing what they call the basically option. But we will go with this one. A magical space fairy or something that lives in my phone told me to come here to find my dream job. I'm a magical space fairy, apparently. I half expected her to send me packing. Pretty impulsive of me to just talk about Iris like that, but she took it in stride. Oh, hello, my. What they can do with technology these days, I really do marvel at what amazing things young people have in 20XX. Or should I say 20 bleep bleep? I'll stick with X. Although I simply love to take a sledgehammer to those blasted video game consoles that eat at my bottom line, she said with such a kind-hearted and warm smile. I'm sorry to hear that. Oh my gosh. I think this is when I fell in love with Francine as a character. That's information I needed to know. Yes. And you are just fine, ma'am. Very well. Shall we retire to the office to conduct your interview? I'd carry on out here, but it is rather noisy, isn't it? Yeah, about that. How do you deal with the constant noise anyway? Oh, eventually just sort of learn how to filter out all the beeps and the boops. It can take weeks to become acclimated, I found, but in the end, done. No more background noise. That is cool. I love that about the sound effects. She quirks an eyebrow. Well, no, that's faster than the others. Not bad. So, shall we see what you're made of, me? This way, please. Francine leads me down a back hallway past public restrooms and into a door marked employees only. Takes all my restraint not to point out the extraneous apostrophe. Yes, that would be me. I love this poster and a little bit of damage here and here. Coffee maker, of course. That's a lot of monitors and one keyboard. Welcome to our little backstage oasis. I'd suggest we do this in Gavin's office, but it's a bit too untidy. I don't blame the boy. He's been so overworked lately. Please have a seat and we'll begin. As quirky as this place and its owner may be, at least I'm confident that I can nail the interview portion of proceedings. I've interviewed for a dozen jobs and held down 3. I know all the standard questions. What are your greatest strengths? What do you see as your weaknesses? Once I even had to describe how to assemble a Lego set to prove my communication skills. Considering I ended up washing dishes, I'm not sure why, but the point is I'm confident, prepared, ready. What? Yeah, we got some water on my nose. Right. Okay, maybe this won't be a typical job interview after all. You think? That's what I love about her. No problem, go with the flow. Let's do this. T-Rex, no doubt about it. Pterodactyl soaring to the sky. Brontosaurus, big dude, enjoys salad. Now, I actually don't like any of these dinosaurs. But of the 3, the one that I would pick is definitely pterodactyl. I've always wanted to be a bird, so wait, no, all dinosaurs are basically birds. Let me rephrase. I've always wanted to be a flying bird, so pterodactyl, swooping around, catching up traps, staying way away from meat eaters. Really? How exciting! Even if it's technically speaking, pterodactyls aren't dinosaurs. Snack? If this was your favorite food question, I'd have this down easy. It's tacos. Always tacos, but snacks. Pizza bagel. Say pizza bagels. When pizza's on a bagel, you can have hush you. Come down here. I don't have all day. Good thought. Well, how could I forget my favorite snack? Tacos are also my favorite snack. A tasty apple with almond butter. Whatever munchies look in the depths of the vending machine. Tacos. Tacos and only tacos. There is no other sustenance. I can see you are a person that knows exactly what they want and how to get it. You know what they say, you are what you eat. Next question. Nothing I prepared for has helped me plan for this odd interview. I brace myself for the next one. Is this interview for real or is this a dream? As I look into Francine's deadpan expression, I know she's 130% serious. Engineering, I can make stuff. Medical, and hey, no lawyers left to see for malpractice. To be honest, I'd probably get eaten on day one. Um, I won't be of much help in an inevitable zombie apocalypse. At least I can throw myself into a horde of undead and you all can escape to live another day. Well, at least you're honest. Honesty is the best way to form trust. One more thing. The question is so simple and almost actually relevant to career planning that it takes me off guard. I told you the magical spacefarer in my phone sent me here to find a job. Now, depending on your previous answer, this will change, of course. To be honest, I didn't have a better answer than a vague hope that maybe this time I wouldn't lose everything. But that's just enough motivation to fix each day. No more than that. It wouldn't be enough to answer her question. I need to actually think this through. The funplex. A plex is fun, and I like fun. To be honest, I don't know. Not yet. I'm looking for hope. I haven't had much lately. If I don't dare to take risks, I'll be stuck. Confused silence. If this is me, if I were in this position, why would I be there? Understand, I'm not whining and looking for pity, but my life has been a complete mess for over a decade. In and out of jobs, taking what I can get, settling, compromising. I gave up on hoping for something better a long time ago. But well, the people in my life who are close to me keep encouraging me to try and chase my dreams. That's why I'm here. I'm looking for the answer to your question. But I won't be daydreaming all the time, I promise. In my last job, I was a lifeguard. It takes a lot of focus. I'll be just as attentive in helping your funplex. That perks her attention. Oh my, a rather serious occupation, that. And an unusual step from such troubled waters to a land of make-believe. You enjoyed this role as a lifeguard, I take it? Yes, ma'am. My roommate says she often noticed me smiling after coming home from work, which makes Francine smile in turn. I can't say I can offer a role with such high stakes, but you'd be surprised at the many ways one can save a life, even here. Very well, I'm satisfied. Let's get you to work. I breathe easier at that. Probably the weirdest job interview I've ever had, to be sure, and yet it felt appropriate, like it was about far more than just filling a slot on the payroll. Francine leads me back to the arcade floor to introduce me to my duties. It only occurs to me now that I forgot to ask exactly what duties this mystery job I'd have accepted really involved. Francine gestures to the seat she was occupying previously, a stool behind the price desk. Welcome to your new position, Jess. Sitting here, you mean? Sitting here and helping players redeem tickets for valuable prizes. I glance at the wide array of pencil poppers, rubber spiders, and tiny plastic toy cars on display. Well, for prizes at any rate. Such a relief. I'd really been stretching myself thin lately, trying to fill in since the position was vacated. If you don't mind me asking, ma'am, why did the last guy who sat here end up quitting? Something about being so bored out of his mind that he felt like jamming one of those 500 ticket plush dolls down someone's throat. Poor dear, this was a cutout for this line of work. Grandson or no, I've no patience for such nonsense. I'm sorry, the last person to work this desk was your grandson? Anyway, Gavin should be by soon. He'll handle paperwork and all that administrative nonsense. Now, if you don't mind, all this talking tires me out some. I'll be in the back office if you need me. And she's gone. Okay then. I adjusted my seating on the semi-comfortable stool, leaning against the desk. Beneath me, a wide array of cheap junk awaited my attention. I could have lost hope then and there that this job would be even slightly more engaging than being a diner or dishwasher, but just look at the positive side. I'd be helping kids obtain toys that would become nostalgic memories for years to come. Yeah, for me, they'd probably end up going in the trash. Right? Any minute now. I love that the expression has changed. And again, crave the sweet embrace of death. I've been sitting here for 2 hours now, and nobody's walked up to obtain a novelty complex shot glass, or a colored pencil set, or a light-up yo-yo. Lunchtime's approaching, so far the only people walking in and out of the arcade are a few stray adults who have no interest in cheap friendship bracelets. Thankfully, my first customer of the day arrives before I start wondering if one of those 500 ticket plushies really could fit down someone's throat. I just admire the character design again. And just this little hole in his pants, which is, yeah, that's unusual. You wouldn't expect it of someone who's so sharp dressed. Or maybe not. Nope, just walking right on by me, his head buried in reading some sort of spreadsheet off his tablet. Is he here to play? Does he seem like a typical businessman on a break or unwatched and unemployed game aficionado? In fact, he's a snappy dresser. Seems a cool dude. Wow, he seems pretty stuck up. Damn, he's hot. That's my kind of guy. Jeez. Yeah, this is where this is the first chance for a flirty first impression. Let's go with the first one. Most guys I know are content to toss on a t-shirt and jeans, not this guy. Even in an arcade, he's striped like a linoleum knife. In fact, it's rather pointed like he's offering me after doubling back his other linoleum knifey too. Hold on a minute. Who are you exactly? Now, this name right here, it changes depending on which option you picked. I've never picked the middle option, but if you pick the third option, this becomes yummy, because that's one of the things you think about him. Who are you exactly? What are you doing behind that desk? Where's Francine? Pleased to meet you. I'm Jess. I am Francine. I had some work done. I'm the new hire. Not that anybody wants prizes. I'm going with this one. Why, I am Francine, dear. The wonders of plastic surgery. Out. Now. Kidding. I'm Jess. She hired me to work the desk. I'm her grandson's replacement. He doesn't look pleased with me jerking him around like that, but not some satisfaction anyway. It's about time. I was wondering how long she'd have to work the desk. She's got gusto for an octogenarian and loves working the floor, but sitting here all day handing out toys and dealing with problems wears her down. So she explained the job to you, gave you the papers to sign. She said Gavin would handle that stuff. With a sigh, he rubs his forehead, feeling a headache coming on. That's delicious. Right. So, as you no doubt guessed, you'll be exchanging tickets for prizes, but that's the least part of your job. There's more to it than that. You're the floor attendant. You attend to the floor. What, the carpets? The For the arcades, the games, the patrons. You're the one running around putting out fires and sorting out problems. Technically, you're a second floor attendant. Absolutely, in later. We need two, one to roam and one to operate the desk. I do it myself, but I'm typically busy in the back office, making sure the whole thing doesn't fall to bankruptcy. That's why Francine loves filling in. She's a people person. She loves helping out in a pinch. I am not a people person, as you've likely gathered. That's not to say you're alone out here. I'm in your corner. When things go south, you tap me for advice on what to do. You got a phone? Of course. Who doesn't have a phone these days? Gavin quickly passes me and spooks the card. He apparently has a stack of them at the ready in his pocket. Go figure. His phone number is listed at the bottom. You ever worked a high-pressure customer service job before? Shoe sales. Smelly socks? You have no idea. Right. Well, you know how to keep your head when a customer doesn't, I hope. If anything goes sideways, you text me. I'm not around, you text Ashley or Naomi, in that order. Who and who? You'll meet them soon enough. Above all, do not bug Francine. She's practically retired. Let her enjoy that retirement in peace. Comprendo? Okay, relax. I got this. Stress feeds me, makes me strong. This is my first pony ride. You can rely on me. But 911 for huge emergencies, right? Contact you if problems arise. It's not you, Ashley, or Naomi. Leave Francine alone. But I'd hazard that if the kid's on fire, you'd rather I call the fire department, right? Well, of course. I enjoy not being on fire. Oh my gosh. I've never taken that option before. Magical archive. What now? Gavin sighs again, a stress release gesture, but his expression softens somewhat afterwards. That's my understanding. I'm still trying to figure out my why. Why so aggressive? I just got started here. No problem at all. I'm a model employee. To be honest, I'm still sorting out why I'm here, what my dream is. But I'm not here to step on anyone else's dreams in the process. I'm here to do my best at supporting everyone. Good to hear. I'd say we share similar views then. It'll be a pleasure to work with someone who's actually enthusiastic and competent. And hopefully this type of weirdness will help you find your dreams along the way. Anyway, I need to go prepare your paperwork. Technically, you shouldn't be working until we've crossed the I's and dotted the T's, but since I'm already sitting here, you'd rather I stick around. Now, I don't know if people had caught that joke at the end. Cross the I's and dotted the T's. It's supposed to be the other way around. But it's fun to say it the wrong way around. That would be accurate. If you're willing to fight things a bit and work today anyway, it'd help us out a lot. Now, if you don't mind, Naomi likely could use a hand in the workshop. A good opportunity to introduce yourself as well. Got it. Wait, someone else is here? I haven't seen anyone else. Yeah, that sounds like Naomi. The workshop's through that door there, the one next to the UFO catcher. The crane game, to use layman's terms. Satisfied for now, Gavin heads in the back, presumably to the office to go crunch some numbers. If Francine's really taking a nap right there, hopefully he's going to crunch quietly. My first coworker ended up slightly less cool of a guy than I thought he'd be, but he's not a jerk, definitely. I get where he's coming from. Plus, I've known really blunt people before. It's easy to mistake them for jerks, especially at first glance. I figure I can give this guy an honest chance. Anyway, I should go meet my next coworker, this Naomi he mentioned. I could swear Francine and I were the only ones here until now. A double door, also marked employees only, also with an apostrophe, leads from the arcade floor to what feels like an industrial area of some sort. Turn the handle and step inside. In a little room tucked away between the back offices and the Funplex front, I find what is very likely this Naomi spoken only of in myth and legend. Now look at all of this clutter here. And this right here, take note of this. Mouse not working with me. Yeah, this right here, take note of that. A girl about my age, but certainly not my height, is secretly around what looks like an old tube-style monitor. Huh, I didn't realize they had so many circuits. Now, this is what they're talking about, this kind of monitor. Um, that's what our computer monitors used to look like, and now they're flat screen because they're LCD. She doesn't notice me when I come in, too busy folding a capacitor into place. The lingering smell of melting metal fills the air of the poorly ventilated workshop. That's not good. Excuse me? For lack of a better way to interrupt her. I was worried no matter what I did, she might, I don't know, burn her fingers or jump so high she hit the ceiling or something. Fortunately, the shock's not quite that intense. Hello? She said with no apostrophe. That quizzical expression. I'm just Connor. I'm the new floor attendant starting today. She throws a glance at her phone on the nearby workbench where a huge stack of green notification messages lay in wait. Guilty. One thought comes to mind on actually seeing her. No wonder I didn't notice her until now. She was totally focused on the task at hand. I was assuming retro arcade nerds were fat, middle-aged guys. Oh my god, she was so cute. I just want to hug her, but that would be super inappropriate. Um, I picked Naomi for my first romance because she was so focused on that, on what she was doing, and so happy. And my first romance in Mass Effect Andromeda was Susie for a similar reason. So I was like, But this time, and for me, with me, this is what I would pick. This room's right at the heart of the building, but totally isolated. With the heavy doors closed behind me, I can barely hear the arcade. Considering completely and utterly dedicated, she looks at that monitor, not even noticing me. I guess that's also why. What I first noticed is her smile. Even when squinting to see the tiny components on the circuit board, even when laser focused, she was smiling happily. He's busy doing strange things with numbers. Really? What happened last time? Of course, of course. Oh, right. She also left the large cathode ray tube, slotting the heavy metal framework into place within the exposed guts of the nearby arcade cabinet. Once done, she starts hooking wires back up to other wires. There's a surprising number of green circuit boards in that largely hollow wooden cell. This is the first time I've seen inside one of these things. It's weird. Lots of empty space, a couple of large slabs of circuits, and that beefy monitor. Why is it so empty in there? Maybe we could fill it with nacho dip. It's my first time seeing the guts of the game. It's me, so I would be super curious. Why is it so empty in there? Seems inefficient. Couldn't you pack more into the arcade if it was more compact? Not really. It's more about the footprint on the floor than the vertical height. Naomi keeps working using a pocket multimeter to check those connections as she speaks. I mean, compare American and Japanese cabinets. Ours are designed for standard players, so they have to be upright, even if that means an empty base. Japanese candy cabs are shorter, so you play sitting down, but I prefer American style. Ours have more room for art. She closes up the rear access panel, closing it with one of the many keys on the key ring at her side. That right there. Then steps back to admire her handwork. Oh, by the way, I have to admire the character art, the apron, I bet these are attached to the apron so she doesn't have to worry about taking them on and off and putting holes in her shirts all the time. Those look like two screwdrivers, I bet. One is a flathead, one is a Phillips head. Thanks, Dad. A bunch of keys. And a smiley face button. Oh, that bottom one says 1P. Okay. There, what, I guess? There's genuine joy in that smile. Not just at a job well done, but at looking at the whole thing like it's a fine sculpture. Oh, I love the classic midway style. Look at the sharp angles, the side art decals, the bold font on the marquee, the bezel artwork. The what and the what and the what artwork? I am a newbie to this stuff, Naomi. Please teach me. With a sigh, Naomi points out key features to me. The strip across the top with the game titles, that's the marquee. The artwork that wraps around the monitor, that's the bezel. I mean, you see it too, right? How beautiful and cohesive it all is, working in harmony to give this game its own unique feel, its own experience. As for me, well, a bunch of weird-looking boxes in a row looks ugly. I agree, it's beautiful in its own way. So you're a resident game historian, then. That first one would definitely not be me, because I wouldn't say they're ugly, because they're not. They're just beautiful in their own way. The way she stares lovingly at this, well, honestly, this box of wood and circuits and vacuum tubes and stuff, I think I understand. It was made to be one whole thing, the art, the style, and of course the game itself, all of it part of the same experience. Everything about this game is the game. If you run it in an emulator or on a game console instead, it's made lesser. Yeah, I guess I could see it. It's beautiful in its own way. Oh, good. Naomi lights up with joy like a pinball machine, all soupy and shiny. Pinball machines, oh, those are fun. I think if there were a game in an arcade that I would spend a lot of time playing, it would be pinball. Because that's the sort of thing that you wouldn't need to have to mash a bunch of buttons. You just have to play with the flippers, and if you get really good at it, you could probably even aim the ball. Finally, so few people really understand the beauty of a classic arcade game. Having someone I can talk to about this stuff is going to be great, especially with that jerk Gavin running the numbers. Gavin? What's wrong with Gavin? Okay, well, don't get me wrong. I can get along with him generally, but his whole attitude just, whoa. All he really cares about is money. He keeps the arcade running, yeah, but I just know that if he had his way, he'd get the whole place. If anybody's going to run the funplex, it's him. Mark my words, it's inevitable. Really? That doesn't sound right. He seems easy enough to get along with, and what's more, Gavin gave me that whole speech about protecting their dreams. This looks like a pretty sore point here. A long-standing argument that the new gal really shouldn't get involved with. And yet, I'm involved, aren't I? I have to work with both Naomi and Gavin. I'm not sure I should really prod at it, but I kind of want to know, too. So mark the vote, clear, and find out more. Let her keep talking. That's a good question. Which one would I do? I would do this one. Oh, I just get so mad thinking about what evil, money-minded schemes he's probably cooking up. No, not gonna get worked up. Besides, it's not right of me to dump all this workplace gossip right on the head of the newbie. You seem like a good person, and you love arcade games like I do. Right, let's get back to work, shall we? Now for the less fun part. You seem a strong, strapping kind of gal. Well, a strong gal at least. Well, you're a gal. That's enough. Okay, so I'm not strong or strapping then. And honestly, I am not in real life either. I'm not even that tall. I'm semi-insulted then? Okay, let's get to it. Right, a little to the left now. My left, you're right. Careful. Now forward, right, correct, I mean, not turn to the right. Keep it coming, and there. Carefully tip it into place. Victory! I gently eased the rolling dolly forward, the giant wooden box settling into place alongside its neighbors. The two-wheel dolly makes it easier, but hardly easy, especially with Naomi fretting over her baby getting scratched or worse, falling over. So with the work done, she's all smiles again. Okay, glad to be done with that one. I swear, I've been working on that monitor for ages. This tooth's as finicky as heck, and I'm still not so satisfied with the flyback, but thanks for helping me out, Jeff. I think you're going to do just great here. Happy to have you. Oh, right, stomach growling. Food required, except I wasn't expecting to actually be working today. I forgot to pack a lunch. Now, I'm just talking here, but if you had pizza on a bagel, just... Hey, so any good restaurants in Washington distance? I think that bookstore next door sells donuts and stuff, but... no, not really, unfortunately. I mean, there's a cheaper web sub sandwich place, but even if that stuff is super tasty, you don't want to go there. You need to eat healthy. Hey, I know, wait right here. And she's off, scurrying back to her hidey hole. And she's back, scurrying from her hidey hole. Lunchtime. Here you go. She presses a box lunch into my hands. It's a bento box. I learned how to make them from my mom, who learned from her mom back when they lived in Japan. So that means that Naomi is third generation Japanese. Third generation Japanese American. Assuming this takes place in America. I believe it does. Rice and pickles and all sorts of good, healthy things. Wait, you're giving me your lunch? Sure, why not? And yet, when I first walked in as a stranger, she looked super uncomfortable with me. That escalated quickly. What do you have for lunch then? Oh, I can just get some nachos from the vending machine or go hit the whole store next door. I've got a book delivery to pick up anyway. But you said eating healthy was important. See you after lunch. I can't help but think she was just looking for an excuse to go get some junk food instead. Me too. I'd say Naomi definitely fits in with Francine's ideals for this arcade. She's got a love for these games, and it shows. Give me her lunch? Me, a total stranger? That's a kindness I don't know if I deserve, but I appreciate it all the same. So, a bento box. I've only seen these in anime. It's cute, and hopefully has plenty of calories, too. And with a box of house food, I retired to the employee lounge to get my munch on. Whew. This is taking longer than I thought it would. I forgot this first chapter is a bit long. The room where I had my bizarre job interview will suffice for food time. It's not much, a few folding chairs and a kitchenette, but it'll do. Utterly famished by this point, I have a seat and unpack my lunch. I love the music there. Can we just admire this character design? Definitely a mascot of some kind. I love that the eyes are pointing two different directions on the mask. Incoherent screaming, coherent screaming. Oh wait, death. Um, how was I scream? Was I scream? With my mind and body screaming wildly, my paralyzed form is unable to move from the vision of terror before me. The half-person, half-animal waves their appendages in front of me, likely closing in for the kill. Boo! Anyone in there? Waking nightmare, I love that. See, nothing to be afraid of. And still the eye holes. Right, I see. Looks like you stabilized. I was worried I scared the life right out of you. Hey! I nod my head slowly. That could just be muscle spasms from being in shock. And I'm Jess. What the fun part's what now? This is almost too much to take in. Gavin was a bit of a lot. Naomi was also sales cheerful. Met some really intense people so far. Me? No. Oh, no, that's not what I meant at all. I mean, I've worked here. Today? This morning, to be specific. I mean, it would have been way cooler if you were just so enamored with the chibi flamingo creature plastered on every wall that you had to know more. You could have supplely maneuvered your way through all the game settings, right on up to the employees only door. But how did you get the door code? Oh, and by the way, notice employees only has the apostrophe. And of course, you would have collected the password on a piece of paper that fell from Gavin's pocket. You searched your heart and decided that four-digit number had to be the intel you needed. Next, you needed to lie and wait for the opportune moment to touch in that secret key code just to find me. It just keeps going and going. She's definitely passionate about this fictional scenario. She's got quite the imagination, all right. Is that how I come across to people? As a creepy trespasser? The way she just takes an idea and runs with it? A lot of people might find that weird, but I kind of dig it. Because I do it too. She has a lot of imagination. I wonder if she's a writer or something. Writer. I am anyway. And how would you have snuck out, I wonder? That was a little awkward. I could have helped for a price. After finally realizes she's been battling with herself for a good couple of minutes. Oops. Sometimes I get swept up in a good story. I mean, I gotta find some way to make this job more interesting. Is it really that dull here? No, not really. I just crave a different kind of excitement than beeps and boops, screaming children, and broken machines. You aren't really painting the best picture here. Ah, geez, I don't mean to be a downer. Just want to move up in the world. I've got things to accomplish, dreams to fulfill, cosplay to make. Cosplay? Now, I already knew this one before I put this in. As we switch topics, it's like she's a completely different person. Ashley's eyes light up and she smiles. Yeah, you know what dressing up as your favorite video game or TV character? I love it. It's so empowering to be able to make your own costume and wear it proudly. It's even better when people recognize what character you are. Empowering? Really? Granted, she certainly had the power to stop my heart for a few beats. Definitely. You want to try? Got a favorite game character? I can help you make your first cosplay if you want. In fact, I made this one. I think Ashley's going to her flamingo costume, but it's a little hard to tell with her hands of feathers. So Pinky is your creation intentionally? Yep, it looks pretty good for my first mascot cosplay, doesn't it? I'd probably stitch my hands together if I tried that. If it's more for terrifying, then yes. I don't know heads from tails, but I can appreciate it. I have tried my hand at sewing, and I haven't done the first, but I'm not that great at it. I'm all bummed when it comes to stuff like that. Literally, if I get enough thread running between them. I'm pretty impressed, though. Naomi was going on about craftsmanship of games. Clearly, you're taking on craftsmanship of costumes. Aw, thanks. It's nice when hard work is appreciated. So running around the funplex to liven up the crowds, get people pumped to play some games. The kids seem to enjoy it. That makes sense. Although the arcade has been completely dead so far. No crowds to pump or kids to be adored by. Hey, secret between you and me? Ashley motions for me to come closer. She leans in, glances around the room once, then talks in a hushed tone. I did some repairs on Pinky overnight. I had to restitch the left arm, and I was giving her an old test drive to make sure it doesn't fall off. Limbs falling off seems bad. Oh, it was! Yesterday I was dancing with a little girl, must have been like 5, 6 years max. Anyway, we're next to Showtime stage when she tugged on my arm and whoosh! Up came the arm. The girl instantly started falling. Oh, at least you're consistently scaring people, and it's not just me. Hey now. I don't want that to happen again. I felt so bad. But enough about me. What about you? So you're Carl's replacement? I guess so. I'm the new floor attendant. I attend to the floor. The floor is the thing I am attending to when I'm not going into cardiac arrest. I just realized that the guy's name is Carl. I named one of my characters Carly. Ha. Not intentional. At least you're funnier than Carl, that's for sure. Can't wait to go home and tell Jennifer I do have a sense of humor. She'll be so proud. I assume you've already met Francine, but have you had a chance to meet Gavin and Naomi yet? Yeah, I met them already, although it seems like they aren't too keen on each other. Right? Ashley rolls her eyes and lets out a sigh. I wish they'd hurry up and make out already. Yeah. Wait. What? Seriously? So, are they going out? Nope. But they always bicker like an old married couple. It's a classic anime cliche. The ones who fight always end up together. Mark my words, Jess. Consider them marked. You can say them marked too. Anyone who's reading this. Beep beep, Jess. What's that sound? Drat. I set an alarm for when my lunch break was over. Time to go back to the grindstone. I didn't even get a chance to eat. Jess. That's no good. Jess needs her calories. You eat up, I'll go wash the floor. In fact, how about I take over the ticket desk for the next shift? You do my job and wander the floor of it. Fair enough. Thanks. Ashley winks before her face disappears into the dark recesses of that inhuman mask. I mean, it technically isn't human, but that's not usually how we refer to inhuman. Doesn't usually mean flamingo mask. As I'm molting down rice in the shape of a little heart, wow, it occurs to me I didn't actually ponder my first impressions of Ashley yet. She's pretty amazing. I like her enthusiasm about her art. Ashley's got a lot going in that head of hers. I just don't understand it at all. Ashley is a total cutie. I'm all aboard the Pinky train. Choo-choo! I'm gonna go with this one. The way Ashley's whole expression changed when she talks about things she's passionate about just warms my heart. Her beaming energy just lights up the whole room. I wonder if one day I'll be that excited about something. Anyway, with lunch in my belly and break time complete, the second half of my workday began. Rolling into the afternoon, the crowd starts to fill out. School, sun, and late-rising pros are heading out to their arcades of choice. With Ashley covering the desk, my job is to wander the floor looking for problems, or potential problems, or just making sure everything's A-okay. But for starters, it's a good moment to collect my thoughts. A-okay. It's been a while since I've heard that used. I think I'm off to a decent start with my coworkers. Those first impressions, at any rate. Cooperation's going to be a must. I've had awful coworkers before, and they can really drag down your day. I don't think I've ever encountered that, but I work as a substitute, and sometimes the students drove me crazy. There's a reason I'm working on a master's degree in history so I can teach college and not deal with teenagers or young kids. Oh, that was worse. Hang on. No time for daydreaming. Okay, Scott, let's see. 3 possible issues to look into. I should have time to get to all of them, but which do I tackle first? So, sometimes when you have choices like this, you can only end up picking 2. The third one you don't get to. But in this case, you will get to all 3 of them because it introduces you to the other 3 potential love interests. So far we've met Gavin, Naomi, and Ashley. They will all be potential love interests. And then we're going to meet the 3 that are basically regulars at the Sunplex. So, this being me, I'm going to start with the one at the top. My mutant floor attendant senses detected danger from the left-hand side of the arcade. I quickly rush all of 30 feet to the scene of the crime, already in progress. Come on! I love this angry rando. Hurry the fuck up! I finished your game. Or should I say bleep up? Do you work here? I saw you behind the desk earlier. Note to yourself. Ask Devin for a name tag or something. Yes, I'm Jeff, floor attendant. Well, stop attending to the carpets and attend to me. Just realized I sound like Bill and Ted from Bill and Ted's Adventure or whatever. In the 80s. I want this idiot to wrap up his damn game so I can play. Ashley's face is obscured beneath her costume snap, but I can feel her wince as the man curses up a glee streak. Sir, there are children present. Please keep the swearing to a minimum. You kick this fat piece of wood off this game, and I'll sing Mary Had a Little Lamb all you want. You're getting out of here, though, fat piece of lard. Let's go with lard. Side of the story before rushing to judgment. I tap the player on the shoulder. And he doesn't even notice my tapping. So I tap again. Twice. Sir, there are other players ready to give Mr. Moopy's magic maze a spin. Seriously, the player looks up at the game's marquee. Thank you, Naomi, which simply reads, Moopy. You know the game's full name? Sure, I played it a lot when I was a kid. Now, I love this artwork. I wish we could actually play it. But it's bad at these mazes anyway. Especially using a joystick and buttons. Even using a keyboard, I would suck at these. I find mazes more fun when I can do them on paper. It's actually called Mr. Moopy's Magic Maze, right? Wizards and power-ups and monsters and stuff? Yeah. Bit terse as he's laser focused on the game. And I can see why. He's currently sitting on 714,900 points. Holy crap, that's a heck of a high score. Or as the other girl would probably put it, holy bleep, that's a bleep of a high score. Excuse me. Right. Sir, can you please wrap up your game? Nope. I keep getting a good pace here. Plenty of livestock on par. We're getting close to the world record before the kill screen. Somehow the thick arcade jargon sounds classier when draped in his British accent, like I'm watching some documentary program on the BBC. That made me perk up. He's British, I love British accents. Yeah, but this is a public arcade. Other folks want to play the games too. He finishes clearing the current board while pondering the predicament. Okay. First, I think he's stepping away to end his game. He's laying the stack of 50 extra dudes slowly deplete as he pulls out his wallet. Without pause, he pulls out $3,000 in cash and holds it out. $3,000 in cash. Oh my lord. Will this cover it? For a moment, I flash back to that movie where some dude pays another dude to sleep with his wife and they throw around a bag covered in money and, cover what exactly? The cost of the game. The game itself. I have never seen this much raw cash in one place at any given time. Not even in 20. Dudes rolling in Benjamins. Oh my gosh. I don't think I've ever held a $100 bill before that was mine. One moment please. On it. Fortunately, I was already have my messenger app open for me with Gavin's contact info preloaded. With trembling fingers, I key in, customer wants to buy movies for $3K. What do? In less than a minute, I have my response. Considering I paid $200 for it, plus parts, yes. Absolutely yes. Sell that relic immediately. Well, okay then. Although, how's Naomi gonna react to this? Offloading one of her dollies just because Gavin wants to make a 15-fold profit? It also feels kind of weird to be taking advantage of this guy's lack of a grasp on the middle class rule about arcade machines. I know all this workplace drama is going to catch up to me at some point, but with this rando breathing down my neck, I gotta make a decision. The game was 200, but I'm not sure we should sell. 3,000 sounds about right. It's yours. I'm not sure if we should sell this game. Oh man, I don't know about this. My semi-boss is cool with it, but there's a lot of factors in play. I don't think I should just let you walk away with the thing. I feel a bit wishy-washy about the whole mess, not wanting to get on Naomi or Gavin's bad side. But the player simply smiles. So we can't have a mess, can we? Wouldn't be sporting. Let's compromise. I'll buy the game so I can play it whenever I want, for as long as I want, provided nobody's already playing, of course. And in return, you can keep Mr. Moopy here where he belongs. We wouldn't want Naomi to cry, would we? Wouldn't be proper. With his mind made up, the man presses $3,000 into my awaiting hand, satisfied with negotiations, which leaves the rando hotly mad. To be fair, we have been kind of ignoring that he exists. What's the fuck, man? What kind of arcade is this? Anyway, fuck this. I'm going to Deco's palace. And we just saw the customer stomping his way out the door. Stomp, stomp, stomp. And I don't know if people can hear it, but the sound effects, there was sound effects of feet stomping. By the way, babies apparently can stomp crawl. That was hilarious. On the plus side, Naomi won't cry. On the negative side, I just drove a rando out into the cold. First time I get to hear his voice. Oh my gosh. As for the player, well, he goes right back to playing, eating out, zapping ghost monsters, clearing mazes. With the graphics behind us, I can actually focus on who this gonzo rich guy actually is. He seems to care about more than just his game. Smash around the cash, aren't we, Mr. Moneybags? Oh, digging that dad bod. And now that we can see the character design, which we could have earlier, you can tell he's got a bit of a belly. So he's not super fit, not like Gavin. But he's still fucking gorgeous. But focusing in on this and as saying this as me. Take it from someone walling around in the lower tax brackets. The rich can do whatever they want, whenever they want. And yet, that's not what this guy did. He could have, but he let us keep the game. He just wanted to play. That's all. And why? Because of Naomi. Because of the Funplex. It's a home and a family. For the games and for us. Maybe it's for the best I sent that rando out the door in favor of this guy. So you know Naomi? He's happy to talk even while playing. Oh, that's hilarious. That's me, just want an arcade wrangler. That accent. So you seriously just been playing Loopy all day, huh? That smile. The beats and boots. Sorry, I really love British accents. Naomi gets that. She keeps moving in top condition for the day I eventually land my high score. What's the current world record then? About 3.5 million. This guy has been standing here since I was working on the morning shift. hours and hours. I still owe about 720K into his game. Ugh. Can't imagine him being in anything but top health condition to try this. Guy's got to have legs made of carbon fiber and a ladder of tungsten. I just let a few extra lives during out whenever he needs to go pee. Also, he may be psychic. I feel like I should let him get back to his game, but burning questions, they burn like fire. You must have a solid job, good income. So, gonna get your movie dipped in gold? Your score is more important than your bank balance? Hmm, that's a good question. Next one. If you don't mind me commenting on it, that's a lot of money to just have on your person. What do you do for a living? Yeah, this and that. Right, so here's just intense focus, and then, nah. He doesn't want him to care to talk about his work. Not in a guarded way, it's just less interesting than his current mates. Maybe he's actually the head of an international diamond smuggling ring that had the stones inside arcade games. Day trading. Huh? Day trading. Stocks and bonds, anybody can do it if they have a head for the numbers. It's really nothing important. Dude, I know people who struggle with simple math, and you are talking about something beyond that. Or maybe he's a day trader. I don't feel people are defined by their work. I know the arcade is home to those who made their passion into their work, but it's the passion that matters more. I have my passions the same as anyone. I look forward to learning yours as well. When I'm not deep in the middle of the game, I mean. He's getting more and more distracted by the game. I should leave him be. I have to do a thing. About a thing. You see me, Miss Connor. And, going back real quick. This right here. If you pick the non-binary option, which I hope you notice in the character create screen, that the S becomes an X. And if you pick he for your pronouns, then it becomes an R. And also, regardless of which pronouns you pick, the art is the same. So you can pick whatever pronouns, and it's still the same character art. I love that. Yet another weird encounter in a string of weird encounters. By the end, he sounded more like the high score junkies you hear about in documentaries, obsessed, driven, kind of strange. But that's not the impression I had of him from the beginning. He smiled and talked about not trading at the arcade. There's something more going on here. But, well, he's a complex regular. There'll be plenty of time to learn more later. I've got work to do. Let's see what to handle next. Actually, I am going, speaking of teams, I need to do that myself. I will be back shortly. Okay, I'm back. Sorry for that, but I'm human. I don't know if I will finish the chapter tonight. It's running longer than I expected, but there's a lot. I can understand why. Okay, so 2 more regulars to meet. There's a lot of shouting coming from the center of the arcade, where Fist of Discomfort is being played. I remember Iris telling me all about it earlier today while I was bored to death at the ticket desk. Fist of Discomfort, or FOD, excuse me. I'm sorry, I got some stuck in my throat. There we go. Is one of the most popular games in the esports circuit. It's been a staple of the scene for over 6 years. One year, Team Wicked's Prodigies took on the Unreal, came back to win in the dying seconds of a tiebreaker match to take home a record $5 million prize pot. That's a lot of moolah. And how? Okay, so how does it work? It's a hybrid of real-time strategy and button mash brawling. Fight your way down the top and bottom lanes, clearing waves of ninjas to probably topple the enemy dojo. Clearly a Japanese import. But that's the action part. The strategy part involves using special abilities, purchase items, and ninja summons. So FOD is sheer elegance in its simplicity, the way the different game systems interweave to form one masterpiece of esports perfection. To summon good ninjas, punch bad ninjas, nice dojo. I'd say boiling down a rich game of action and strategy played the world over by top gamers in such a way as a bit degrading, but sure, okay. All of which is super interesting and stuff, but right now all I care about is dealing with the loudmouth currently playing the game. The closer I get, the louder the yelling gets. Most of these words are that... No, those are definitely all words my mother would disapprove of. You've got to be kidding. Effing me. Oh, let's stick with kidding me. There is no blatant way that is even plausible. Those hitboxes don't even bleeping connect. Bleep this game. Bleep it all night long. Ha ha ha. Get wrecked. Randall kind of shit. I love it. Because I love the movie that it refers to. And the character that it refers to is pretty cool. Oh, this is far from over, scrub. I saved up a little something extra special for you. I've been baiting you into attacking my sensei, which you fell for. Hard. Oh, hey, did I forget to mention I bought an extra ultimate technique scroll from my dojo? Whoops, my bee. Wait, what? Nothing for me. How could XP share technique with creeplays? Take this. 5-4 beeping explosive death claw technique. What? How did you defeat me? That's so funny. No. Got Can we just appreciate how gorgeous she is? And take note of the jacket. That would be important. That's a story point. My dry eyes painfully blinking makes me realize I've been standing here watching intently during that whole exchange. I'm not 100% sure what just happened, but that didn't matter. I was completely sucked in. Couldn't tear my eyes away. It's like watching a train wreck. I mean, if the train was the arcade game and the wreck was that guy's face. Oh, seeing as I don't even know how to begin to start to even consider how to respond to a question, I have to take a moment and collect my thoughts. From what I've somehow gathered, she goes like Queen Bee. That jacket she's wearing identifies her as a member of L7 Gaming, an arcade esports team. L7, I'm sure viewers have already figured that out. And she's the most direct, fierce person I've met all day. That's saying a lot, considering who I've run into so far. She'd be fun to hang around, no doubt. Why so rude, though? What a sore winner. Talk about a dominating personality. I feel the urge to kneel and submit. Not that last one. No. That should definitely be fun to hang around with. But that one of excitement I was gushing out, I can only imagine how much enjoyment she gets out of life. What can I say? People love winning, and it seems like she wins a lot. At least between bursts of, what did this Iris call it? What did Iris call it? Not this Iris. Saltiness. She snaps her fingers to grab my attention. Oh, there was a side effect. I really should put these with headphones on, but they start to bother my ears after a while. From what I've seen, I know I couldn't best this scrub, let alone a professionally competitive player of this game. Nope. No, thank you. Plus, I'm not sure I'm allowed to play games while I'm working. Yes, me. And what's your job? Hackling me? I'm actually pretending to work here. Shh. I enforce arcade law within this noble complex. I like both of those last ones. But, oh, it's all just a front. I wander on the floor to, pick up drop tickets in hopes of getting one of those giant stuffed flamingos behind the prize counter. I know, right? If I was as good at those ticket games as I am at FOD, I'd have like a flock of giant pink flamingos. Maybe I'd even give you one. Maybe. I think that was actually a weird tactic to have me introduce myself to her. I'm Jess. I did technically just start working 6 hours ago. It might take them time to issue me a name tag. Maybe they need to send a carrier pigeon to an ancient monastery where name tags are forged in a fast clay oven. Nah, that one's just slacking big time. I'll talk to that silly boy for you. Make sure to get some proper respect. Thanks? No problem. We gamers got to stick together. I figured that when you put your arms over your head, cheered and shouted, "No one can defeat me, Queen Bee!" Anyway, I'm one of the regulars around here, besides Pear and Taylor. Pear meaning Percy, Taylor meaning the other person I get to meet. So you'll be seeing a lot of me in the future. Let's hope you last longer than the last guy. Oh, great. Now she's even making my job into a competition. I hope there's a betting pool, too. You look like a smart kid. You've seen one of my many streams on the internet, right? Nope. I literally have no idea what you're talking about. Really? Have you been living under a rock for the past decade? If you consider a small yet formidable apartment a rock, then yes. Oh, you sweet child. You were so innocent and pure. Come, let me show you the path to darkness that is the internet. Nope, nope, nope. Sure, I'd like to learn more. Will it hurt or traumatize me? Well, it is part of my job to know all about the games here. And if Queen Bee is going to give me some insight on the culture around this game, I should take advantage of that. Lead me farther in the dark abyss, my mistress. Queen Bee grabs my arm and pulls me closer to the fist of his comfort cabinet. And upon further inspection, I see the whole haphazard pile of tech she's rigged up. You can't just plug one of these cabs into the internet, so I use a number of clip-on webcams and lights and stuff. That webcam there, it broadcasts to my own personal PC back home. It then streams matches live to all my fans. The chat room appears on my phone. It costs a bit to put everything all together, and it takes like half an hour to rig up and test each morning. After doing this here for a couple of years, it's easy peasy. Aside from Naomi grinding her teeth at my clip-on cameras, damaging the paint job, I mean. Anyway, I prefer to stream from the Funplex than from home. There's so much to miss out on sitting by your lonesome with the console version of FOD, the crowds, the wicked trash talk community. Wait, are you broadcasting live right now? Are we live right now? Haha, no. That's are my warm-up matches. I've got a pretty big tournament coming up, so I try to get as much practice in as possible, even if it is with a bunch of fodder. As in FOD, as in, chum, lunch meat, scrubs, losers. I got the idea, yes. Queen Bee sees something out of the corner of her eye and glances around the arcade floor. She gives a nod to someone hanging near the Street Fighter cabinet. My crew is starting to trickle in. We should be starting team practice soon. Wait, what time is it? At the tone, the time will be 2:25 p.m. Eastern. Shit, I gotta go live in 5 minutes. Listen, kid, it's been swell. We'll chat later, right? Sure, one thing, keep it running down. At least a little. We've got kids around here, and I don't want you to get in trouble with Gavin. And, meh, so are you. I'll keep it to a PG-13 rating. Now, if you'll excuse me, there's some butts up there that I need to kick. Should I keep it below PG-13 rating? And with a wave and a twirl, she completely abandons me and returns to her business's comfort game. Queen Bee fires up her broadcast rig and the shouting and milder swearing starts up again. I should probably get out of here before I accidentally end up on the stream. Passion seems to run deep in this arcade. Everybody's there, burning with passion for, various things, but hey, passion's passion. She seems to like me, which will make my job easier in the long run. There's a huge FOD community in this arcade, despite being a tiny strip mall joint. Good to know. Let's see, what to handle next? Just one thing left to handle. There we go. In the distance, I see a number of people gathering, which is surprising since the first half of my shift was complete and utter solitude. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy to see that people do come to the arcade, but that's quite the crowd that's assembling. Like, larger than Queen Bee's team was, rowdier, too. Just have to take in some fire good or safety protocol or something, right? Speaking as a citizen that enjoys living, having an escape route in case of emergency is necessary. Time to clear the way and pay my own path of safety. As I approach, I see flashing neon lights accompanied by upbeat Europop trips. I love music. I love that shake. It's an auditory flashback, right to 1980. Beep. I can't help but nod my head to the beat. Yep. So we're doing that. Pulsating mass of people surrounded Showtime stage, cheering on the current player. The game itself takes up a whole corner of the arcade, requiring a fair amount of space to actually play. Showtime stage is an ultra-modern arcade smash hit. It uses motion tracking sensors hidden behind the colored spotlights to affect dance pose accuracy and score your sweet moves. It's pure dance fever. Can you catch the fever, Jess? I had my dance fever shots at the doctor's office earlier this season. As the dance ends, one of the players hops down from the stage and immediately starts talking to a young man leaning up against the back wall. Did you see that, Tail? I got my first AA on Stop the Beat. Yeah, I did. You're doing great. Oh, boy. Remember, last month you couldn't even pass that song? Coach impressive. I'm going to keep practicing, and one day maybe even surpass you. Hey, I hope you do. And when you do, you can be the one who brings in new dancers and teaches them how to play. As the next song starts, my eyes shift from their conversation to observe the gyrations and intricate rope movements coming from Showtime stage. Not me. I feel my head bobbing and my foot tapping. Hey, it's a really catchy song. Can you blame me? I'm really getting into it when I feel a hand on my shoulder. How about you? Want to take the spotlight? Now, this person is obviously fucking gorgeous, obviously fit, especially if they're playing a dance game, that makes sense. But to be fair, all of them are fucking gorgeous. That's the problem. Sure, I can learn as I go. Let's dance. But in public, I think not. Dance to higher like you? Absolutely. Back when I was stomping around on dance mat games as a kid, they had arrows. I'm not sure I'd even know how to play this one, but it has caught my curiosity. From the previous observed conversation, this guy seems to know the ins and outs of this weird dancing game and is keen to teach. Before I commit to getting down with my bad self, I think I should know a little more about exactly what that entails. Plus, I'm used to playing these games solo. Less chance of stomping on someone else's foot that way. It is a valid point. However, how could I resist to ask a gal such as yourself? You caught my eye the moment you walked over. Yes, very. Tayo's the best. Greatest guy here. He's sort of like our leader, yeah? Oh, Teo. He looks directly into my eyes. Ah! Teo outstretches his arm to me, waiting for my hand to grab his. Go for it. Slightly decline. Shake your head no. Okay. Honestly, if it were me, no, I'm not good at dance games at all. The offer is hard to refuse. Dance games are fun, you know? But I can't imagine being up there, dancing in front of a huge crowd. Maybe after I've played Showtime stage. Blah. I could talk, really. Multiple times. Alone. Possibly in the dark. I'll give it a try eventually after I sort out the basic steps. Maybe you can teach me how this thing works? I would enjoy that. I've taught many lead-footed newbies to become master movers and shakers. No time for lessons, unfortunately. I'm on the clock right now. I'm the new floor attendant, Jess. Really? But I haven't seen you around here at all. What happened to the other guy? He was actually pretty good at Showtime stage now that I think about it. He's out. I'm in. It's currently year zero of the floor attendant Jess regime. It was an honor to meet you, Jess. I hope we get to know each other well. Indeed. For someone that loves Showtime stage as much as you do, I haven't actually seen you play yet. Sure, most of the time during these meetups, I tend to let everyone else play. I go around and make sure everyone is happy and having a blast. But what about you and your feelings? Teo shrugs. My happiness comes from making other people happy. That's all I need in life. And it's all well and good, but you still need to deal with this crowd. How best to handle it? Hey, what is from a workplace safety video? We need to seriously talk about crowd sizes. Can you disperse your fans for me, please? Good, we can start by getting to know workplace safety together. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but you've got to break up the band. Unless you want to film one of those retro 1960 public service announcement videos where someone loses a leg dancing up the stage and into the crowd. Oh, yeah. Yes, we're kind of overdoing it a little, shaking hands with danger. Hey, when the heat is on and the lights are shining, these things happen. I'll take care of it. Luckily, the song that was being played just finished. Taylor jumps up on the stage and cups his hands over his mouth. Hey, listen! We need to keep the area to the left of the stage clear. Aw, man, but why? I like my spot. Hey, now, you know the deal. Don't have to be cool about fire safety. It's just his first day, so let's show her some respect. See everyone turn around and glare at me. Great, no, I'm going to be known as a party pooper. I guess I've had worse reputations in my lifetime. Like that one time I had to close the pool because of that dirty bandage floating in the water. No one would talk to me for a week. Hey, don't disappoint me, Prue. Jess is just doing her job. Reluctantly, the crowd reshuffles itself in a semi-orderly fashion. Everyone settles into a safer way of watching the game. Teo jumps down and comes back to me. Better? I nod, genuinely impressed with how Teo could factor communities in time. They listen to him and have the utmost respect for him. Yeah, actually, much better. As long as that dancing is within the law, carry on. Officer Jess has spoken. I start to walk away, ready for my next venture, when I remember something I should do. I turn back to Teo. Hey, thanks. Well, I feel nice and accomplished. I was able to uphold the safety of the arcade and make a new friend. I'd say that's pretty good for my first day. Even Gavin's got to be impressed, right? And with that business sorted out, it's time to leave Showtime stage. The arcade is now at peace. My work here is done. Well, actually, we're a few hours away from closing time, so my work here isn't quite done. But, I'm so at peace, in fact, I don't even notice the underbox of the arcade sliding on up behind me. Not a bad first day so far. I've been keeping tabs on you. Well, others have been, and they've been texting me. You should consider getting a proper group chat app going. Got a crappy phone plan. My texts aren't free. I got a point. I'll look into that. I'm impressed with how you handle yourself. I think you're going to work out just fine. Anyway, I prepared your paperwork if you'd like to go sign it and make this working relationship a bit more above board. So you're saying? Please tell me you're saying. I mean, I fed you and everything. Francine hasn't fired her yet, right? An adorable nightmare joke from company staff gathering. Jess is off to a great start. Here's your first day, followed by many more. Don't you two have jobs to attend to? Just so your replacement power supply for Robotron, nothing less to do for the day. Not many kids around for me to entertain. Finally, a quiet moment. My dream job has been going a mile a minute since I got here. Is it my dream job? I told Francine I was looking for hope. I've been so used to life dumping all over me that I couldn't expect the worst generally. And yet, I can't say the funplex has dumped on me. It's been hectic at times, a little too much, but not really in a bad way. I'm trying to get along with my coworkers. I'm helping people with their problems. Maybe I'm finding the hope I was looking for after all. We've only got a few hours to closing now. It's nice and quiet. How about we game a bit? Speak for yourself. I've still got paperwork to handle. Oh, come on. Don't act like you don't, then. Irrelevant. I know your dirty little secret. What? Naomi. You sneak in early each morning to play pinball. You're a pinball wizard. Well, what of it? I bring order to chaos. Pinball is the very expression of that art form. You know what we should do? Impromptu pinball tourney. The girls are thinking and I find myself smiling right alongside them. I don't know, not a bad way to end my first day. Okay, so complete another silence. I love that this is the music when they realize it's a birthday party. Looks of confusion and outright terror on their faces, all laughter dying up immediately, are vaguely concerning to me. Birthday party. How old are the kids, may I ask? It's her 5th birthday. Oh, to be young again. 5 years old. Naomi starts pulling at her hair, eyes wide and trembling, throwing ski balls overhand into the glass, jumping up and down on pinball machines, putting chewing gum into coin slots, pulling at my costume, tearing off pieces of it. Naomi, Ashley, keep it together. We survived kids' birthday parties before. Doom, doom, the end is nigh. Great. Right. Battle stations, everyone. I'll take the ticket just so I can oversee operations. Ashley, feed the kids. Naomi, watch for hardware damage. Jess, roaming duty. Look for trouble. Do what you can. Prepare yourselves. They are coming. Like an oncoming tidal wave, the rumble is felt before it is seen. Parents pulling into parking lot, minivans discoursing kindergartners, and suddenly, now keep these in mind An explosion of small humans rushes the doors, bursting into the arcade before scattering every which way. Even before any of them can get tokens, they're grabbing at joysticks, smashing buttons, eager to get their game on, or even just pretend to be playing. The crew assumes battle stations Naomi by the fragile pinball machines, Ashley near the door, trying to distract the incoming kids to greet them. Gavin, armed with pre-stacked $10 rolls of tokens, quickly exchanges them with the adults, each waiting in line at the change machines. As for the programmers, well, Queen Bee and Tailsman fought for the exit, abandoning them. Keen on getting out ahead of the circus kitties, I guess. That's all very well and good, but I've got no idea where I'm supposed to be. "Slow me, Judy," Gavin said. "Look for trouble," Gavin said. "I mean, I was doing that before, but now the chaos is multiplied." For a few minutes, I'm like a pinball being bounced around, or like that frog trying to cross a highway of traffic. Eventually, I spot 3 possible problems on the right, and just professional forward Summit is ready to attend to them. Which one of these should I tackle first? Well, I may not be able to deal with all of them in time. Hint, hint. This is one of those choices where you're not going to get to all of them. So, which do I want to prioritize? So, 2 kids fighting over a box of cupcakes near Naomi and Ashley, an angry adult shouting at a kid near Tail and Queen Bee, a little girl crying over stolen tickets near Percy and Gavin. Stolen tickets are pretty serious. We're doing that. I wade my way through waves of children towards the skee-ball machines. One little girl sitting at the end of a skee-ball ramp, crying. No parent in sight to tell her, so the task falls to me. I love that picture on her shirt. That will pop up in the sequel. I'm guessing I should be more cautious about this sort of thing, what with lawsuit-happy parents looking over by the vending machines, ignoring the kids, but Ford didn't just decide to kick the case all the same. Hey, my name's Jess, and I work here at the arcade. What's wrong? Can I help? The sobbing pauses as she looks up at me. I lost my tickets. Someone stole them from me. I played and won a bunch of them, but then I put them down, and I was talking to a friend, and now they're gone. I glance around, but in a sea of kids, it's impossible to tell who these could be. I don't even have any more tokens to play with. I spent them all on skee-ball, and my tickets are all gone now. Wah! Easy. We'll figure this out somehow. I've got no clue where to even start, to be honest. Maybe there was a witness to the crime? Percy would have had a kid view the redemption game area based on our movie's position. Gavin has a ticket desk, a veritable crow's nest for the whole arcade. Could have spotted something. Or I could just spend the rolls and solve this correctly. Now, the thing about Percy. Yes, he would have had a good view. But when you're playing a game like that, you are focused on the game. You are not focused on what's going around you. Especially, and this is me speaking not just as someone with ADHD, but someone who loves games. If you're really into something like that, you are going to be tunnel vision. You're going to be focused on the game. So, that leads me to go with either Gavin or solve it myself. Nope, I'm not going to mess around with this one. That's just serious business. Wait, right here, okay, kids? I'll go get help. We'll get to the bottom of this, I promise. Okay. I ducked to the crowd, weaving my way back to the ticket desk. Hey, Gavin, that girl over there? Boy with red hair, currently playing with Frogger. He took her tickets when she wasn't looking. Wait, you saw? Of course, what of it? So do we bring it up to his parents or the cops? Wait, you knew and didn't do anything to help? That's not fair, because how about we replace them? Oh, we're going with this one. Hang on a minute. You saw this kid take their tickets. Yes? And you didn't do anything at all about it. First, I'm tied down to the desk. It's all hands on deck. Desk. Nobody out of position, not even for a minute. Second, confronting the boy who won't do any good. He'll clam up and refuse to ever admit wrongdoing. And the parents can be twice as immature again. Right now, I just want to keep the peace. One girl crying is less of a disservice than a boy throwing a tantrum. The way he stands there, so stoic and uncaring, while that girl in pink just sobs. Not right. I mean, seriously, Hey, it's not right, but he's my boss. How hard do I want to push this? Gavin, have a heart. What makes his sadness less important than that boy's potential tantrum? I call bullshit on that. I thought you were all about supporting others' dreams. Can't say I like it, but it's your call. I wash my hands of this one. Nope. Hypocritical much? Excuse me? You gave me that big speech about protecting the dreams of others, that this arcade was more than a job, more than 4 walls filled with geeks and boots. If you really want to walk the walk and talk the talk, you'd support the dream of a little girl who was wrong and not let a bully walk free. Or are you saying his dream of taking what he wants is more important to protect? At first it looks like he's going to chew me out for standing up to him. But you think me a monster? Of course I feel bad about this. I feel bad for her, and you shouldn't get away with it. I'm just trying to protect the arcade as a whole. Then do it. Protect the arcade by protecting the gamers and their dreams. He sighs like a stress relief while yawning open and closed. You're right, of course. Focusing on the big picture does tend to lead me apathetic to each individual brushstroke. My apologies, Jeff. I'm lucky I had you to put me back on track. Your predecessor wouldn't have stood up to me like this and shown me how wrong I was. Now let's sort this out properly. Gavin walks right up to the kid who's busy hopping a frog around in traffic. Wouldn't mind seeing this kid go play in traffic himself. Ahem, boy. What do you want? Can't help but notice that roll of tickets in your pocket. Big winner, are you? The biggest. God, I'm all playing that spinny color thing over there, see? Really? It's funny, see, I own that game. May I see your roll, please? I don't want to show you. Well, I can see the end poking out of your pocket there, and I see the serial number on the ticket starts with a 1. Which is interesting, because the roll I loaded into the card spinner, it started with a 2. Meaning those tickets were when playing skee-ball, specifically by that girl over there, and you took them. You're a liar. Leave me alone. I'll yell for my mom. Do you really want to risk having your mom believe me instead of you? How about you give me the tickets and walk away? At first the kid looks like he's going to shrink bloody murder, but a few nervous glances at his mother busy munching chips by the vending machine change his mind. Take them. I don't want them anyway. Stop himself again. He angrily stumps away, presumably to go play some other game on the other side of the arcade. You did it! You found my ticket! The girl actually hugs me. Well, hugs me like anyway. Thank you so much. Thanks and thanks. Now then, let's get you your prize. What is it you wanted? Crayons. Those we have. Jess, I'll take it from here. There. Here. Same thing. Well, not the same thing. That's a fuzzy, happy feeling right there. But no time to rest of my laurels. I got other arcade dreams to defend. Right, that's that sorted out. But the other two situations are about to spin out of control. I've only got time to deal with one of them. Which one? 2 kids fighting over a box of cupcakes near Naomi and Ashley. An angry adult fighting at a kid near KO and Queen Bee. Hmm. I can smell disaster on the wind, and it smells sweet. And then I can smell that box of birthday cupcakes one of the parents left on the ticket desk, with kids swarming around it, scavenging for their favorite icing colors. First, my inner child was merely offended that someone thought one of those icing-involved cupcake cakes was superior to actual birthday cake. But there are clearly larger issues at stake than that. What? Remember her from that splash screen? He was also there. Oh, and the previous little girl was also on that splash screen. Of course, the kid at front grabs the last one. The parents aren't paying attention. They're too busy complaining about their jobs and the weather and the PTA and stuff. Meaning when the first cupcake is thrown, nobody is there to stop it. As Bobby walks those icing and sponge cake go flying, I glance over to the corn napkins, which are about to get caught in the crossfire. Naomi is busy trying to unjam a joy stick one of the kids waggled too hard, except to see the cupcake onslaught coming her way. As does Ashley, whose fuzzy costume is a nice and inviting target for a fine confectionery. Act fast, Jeff. Save Naomi's game. Save Ashley's costume. Try to save them both. Quickly, I hurl myself into the action. Get down! So this is the first unique character art, and you can see our truths. Then this subset is multiple rounds of frost-coated mortar fire impact against my body. I had to go for the crotch shot. When I finally hit the ground, my clothes are totally ruined. But alas, my noble self-sacrifice could not completely protect them. Naomi seems to get the idea and shields the game with her body. A few stray cupcakes that missed me hit her, but otherwise no damage done. Ashley takes a few shots, unfortunately, but it could have been worse. Transformed to round up the cupcake corps instigators, Naomi and Ashley kneel down to check on my fallen form. Jess, are you okay? Could be paralyzed from the neck down. Jess, blink once if you're paralyzed. Blink twice if not. I'm not paralyzed. Or you could talk. That works too. Naomi helps me to my feet, although I have to be careful not to mingle my icing with her icing in the process. These cookies, I'm glad I wear an apron. Ew, cupcakes are food, not fashion. Colored icing is just the worst. I think I could get these two out with some clubs in, unfortunately. Guess I got all of us, but just worst of all. You know, that was super selfless of you trying to save us from that splatter. Speaking of the Lieutenant, you scored a silver medal. Despite all of us ending up splattered a little, we seem in good spirits. I should have tried to keep that rolling. My cupcake flu was not strong enough. I must now go meditate under a waterfall and train for 10 years. No mere cupcake can stop me. I am a hardened and stalwart defender of this arcade. Never mind me. How are you two? Anything I can do to help? I can always hit the laundromat. No problem. What about you two? Naomi, new apron? Ashley, want me to get you a club soda? I need to check my tools, make sure none of them got wrecked. But I'm good otherwise. I'm just glad the game's safe. And thanks for the offer, but I'll attend to my costume myself. Devil's in the details, you know. Anyway, thanks, Jess. That was a complete mess, but I guess it could have been more of a complete mess if you hadn't done that. I'd better get back to fixing this joystick. You should clean up and get back to it also. Where are you still going? Good luck. Yeah, good luck, and hey, good work. If you'll excuse me, I need to go clean up poor Pinky a bit. That could have gone better, but it also could have gone much, much worse. More importantly, I kept the spirits up. Even Ashley, who has to clean icing out of her fuzzy felt, came out a bit cheerful. A brief nod from Gavin, I snatched one of the official Funplex t-shirts to replace my cupcake top. For a few minutes in the bathroom to change and wipe icing off my pants. I'm ready to go again. 2 problems in the can. Okay, cupcakes and tickets sorted out. That's where that angry shouting parent by the driving gates. Uh-oh. Looks like they went home. Problem solved? The voice who was shouting at is gone too. Hey, just missed fireworks. And I don't mean my dancing. What happened? Queen Beach glances back briefly in the middle of playing some samurai-based fighting game. All of a sudden, bleep was screaming at this kid for no good reason. Eventually, the parents got into a shouting match. Teo talking about down, but they decided to bail on the party. All I did was point that we were right next to a donut shop frequented by some very well-read cops. Drat, I was hoping to cool things off so they could keep enjoying the party. Just wait, gal. You did good work out there. Yeah, I saw that impromptu cupcake shooting gallery. What a mess. And the stolen tickets? Man, kids can be jerks, but you gave it your best. You're looking pretty run down, though. Why not take a break? I have a solemn and sworn duty to bring peace to my arcade. Yeah, that's that. Go take 5. Truthfully, I'm pretty worn the heck out after all that. Taylor's right. I need to step away from this craziness, probably for a few minutes. After a silent nod from Gavin to confirm it's cool with him, I slip away, headed for the employee lounge. We're almost done, I swear. What a day. Working co-workers, diehard pro gamers, also kids getting involved with situations. I'd say it's a recipe for wackiness or some such cliches, but nothing does easily dismiss cliches when it's happened to you directly. Frankly, I'm exhausted. Dropped down into one of the cheap folding metal chairs in the employee break room, groaning and rolling my head back, trying to work the kinks out of my sore shoulders. I spotted an upside-down kid. Oh, wait, I'm the one leaning backwards. I stood up and turned around instead. Better. Wait, what's the kid doing back here? Hey, I think he was hoping I wouldn't notice him. Hi. Hi, and you are Mikey. Okay, that's a start. Hi, Mikey. My name's Jess. So, what are you doing back here? This is an employees-only area. Wait, there's a keypad. How'd you get in? The guy at the desk dropped this. He holds out a piece of paper with a door code written on it. Huh, score one for Ashley's loud storytelling being more fact than fiction. Keep that in mind. Okay, but you can't stay back here. Well, I don't see any knives or stabbing implements like that in the open, so I guess it's technically safe, but... Well, this is curious. I lean in so we can be on the same eye level. Something wrong? You can tell me. I work here. I'm the gal who solves problems. Don't you want to play with your friends? And he gives me the most cynical, bitter laugh I've ever heard out of a kindergartner. New kid in town, huh? He nods neatly. Still, I should have busted him there and then. Brought him out back to the party where the other parents could supervise him. I should have told Gavin. I should have enforced the rules of the arcade. Okay, kid, I won't tell on you. You want to stay back here for the rest of the party? I'll keep you company. Thanks. You really won't tell my mom? Nope. Why? I thought you'd want to make me go. You're an adult, like Mom. Hey, I wasn't always an adult. I was a kid once. The new kid in town, in fact. You were the new kid? Yeah, although for me that started happening back when I was 10. Now, side note, I've never been the new kid. My family apparently is unusual because we moved once when I was very little and haven't moved since. We've been in the same house for as long as I can remember. But a lot of my friends that I've talked to, they've moved around at least a few times. But my family, my parents, I think just didn't want to move. And my dad had he wasn't fired, he retired. Again and again, moving from town to town, school to school, never really making any friends, not for years. Mom and Dad kept losing jobs and taking new ones, worse ones. They'd be working all day long, too tired when they came home to do much of anything. After years and years of this, I stopped hoping things would get better. I decided I'd just take what I could get. I'd go with the flow. What does that mean? It means you don't care. Some things are good, some things are bad, but you don't care. You just do what you have to do, without really being sad over it. I guess I was sad. I just told myself I wasn't going to be sad, even though I really was. And then I bite my tongue hard, because my little involuntary trip down memory lane was not helping this kid out. Wouldn't have helped little Jess out if an adult did this for me. Instead, I decided to be the adult that little Jess would have needed. Hey, it could be totally worse. Aliens could attack. It won't always be this bad. Life is ups and downs. Your mommy loves you. That's why she works hard. But this will beat you, right? You're a tough kid. You take the time you need. I'll stay with you. Your mommy loves you, Mikey. She loves you very, very much. When I was a kid, I was mad at my parents for moving all the time, taking different jobs. It made things very hard for me. But now that I'm older, I know they were working hard because they loved me. They wanted the best for me, and were doing their best to get it. Life can be hard. Sometimes it's just no fun. But there's one thing that's always been love. They love you. It shoots me a doubting look, one of those little doubting looks where they don't want to outright call something a lie but can't quite swallow it. Mikey, if your mom was sad, what would you do to make her happy? I mean, if you had to go to school an extra 2 hours a day, would you do it? I guess. That's what she's doing. She's working very hard because she wants to make you happy. I'm not happy being alone or moving all the time. Neither is she. But she knows if she works hard, one day you won't be alone. You won't be moving all the time. I was a new kid, remember? But now I have a home with my best friend and a good job. I work in an arcade. How cool is that? It wasn't easy, and my parents were often sad. I was often sad. But we pulled through, and so will you. Just remember, she loves you, and you love her. That'll get you through the sad times. Huh. Is that a great answer? It doesn't solve the problem, but it does make things a little easier on Mikey. From his long sigh, I could feel him releasing his sadness before offering a little smile. Not a big goofy grin, not the high of happiness, just simple understanding. I love Mommy. It's sad, a lot, but I know it's not always sad. And even if she left me here, I know she's coming back. Hey, you know what? You still got some time to enjoy the party. And if you don't want to talk to the other kids, there's a lot of games you can play. And hey, maybe you'll get to know someone or play in a game. Arcades are great for that. And I'm sure a lot of them have got pets too. And they could use someone to play with. Someone who understands. Okay, I want to play the skee ball game. I'll spot you a few tokens. Let's get you rolling. I take his hand to lead him out the back to the main room. I'm not sure if the rolling was supposed to be a pun or what, but that's kind of funny. Oh, losing my voice here. And off he goes. I'm not fooling myself. I know I haven't fixed all Mikey's problems. I'm no child psychologist. That was entirely me flying by the seat of my pants. But for one moment there, I was able to help someone in the same crappy situation I found myself long ago. 15 years ago. Everything changed. No more family vacations. No more arcade visits. They couldn't afford them, and they couldn't take time off work. The whole Tana family had to learn, to settle, to accept the lot in life we'd been dealt, to simply go with the flow, never hoping, never wanting. Juniper did her best to pull me out of that mire. I'd only known her a few years, one of the few stable times in my life, but she knew the edge I'd been pushed to. Now, here I am. Today has been, well, bonkers. Alternately boring and hectic, surreal and way too real. But I can honestly say I'm more alive today than I have been in a very, very long time. Beep, beep. Beep, beep, yes. My emotional voice announces substitutes combined with your body language suggests you're very happy right now. Yeah, I guess I am. How did you know? I just told you, silly. I mean, how did you know I'd love this job so much? Oh, that's easy. I didn't. What? I lied. I was 47% sure. Oh, it has elements that seem to click with your optimal social requirements, a fun atmosphere, spirited coworkers, helping people out, and so on. Also, I cross-referenced your roommate's posting talk about how much you enjoyed arcade visits when you were a kid. Still, 47%. I was 99.97% sure that if I said I was 99.97% sure, you'd be willing to give it a try. Another thing to thank Juniper for, I guess. You're a very weird little lot, you know? I try to be. When the cars put up in the parking lot, it looks like the party's over. It's just about closing time for the arcade anyway. Most of the gamers have fled out by now. Filed out, not fled out. Some of them did flee, if they hadn't already fled the tidal wave of cities. My first impulse was to go bug Gavin about my paperwork, but that can wait. I'd rather go help someone with his heading up. Maybe see how our VIP gamers are doing. Now I don't have time to run around checking in with everyone, though. Who do I want to hang out with? This is one of those times where you only get one person to say. I don't want to hear that British accent again. Now this is what Percy looks like when he's not playing the game. And I love that he has a bit of a belly. Having finished today's high score run, Percy's relaxing a bit by the movie machine, just casually browsing on his phone before he heads off. Ah, good. Market's up. My morning trades will cash out nicely. And the movie score? Oh, quite terrible, I'm afraid. I had to restart twice. Meaning he played literally 75 cents worth of gaming all day long. Yow. Still keeps my skills sharp. Yes, practice, practice, practice. Plus, it was quite pleasant seeing all those kids having such a good time in the fun place. I always play better when people around me are happy. Except for the ones screaming and throwing cupcakes or being hassled by angry parents or having their stuff stolen or... true. Your job does, by its very nature, bring you into contact with those who are specifically not happy. Chin up, love. There are good days and bad days, true. But an arcade is a place where the good ones outnumber the bad. It's a palace of dreams, you see. I love that he says love, even if you don't flirt with him. Like, it's just a casual term of endearment, whether you're in a relationship with him or not. And look at that smile. Ah! I got surrounded by a palace, which is little more than a hole in the wall of the Twin Pines Mall. So what's your dream then, aside from Moopy? Or is it basically it, just nailing the world record? Oh ho, astute, aren't we? I suppose I'm here for more than the hot quarter pumping action, more than to relish in the smiles on those around me. It's a bit more of a personal matter, and not an entirely gentle or pleasant tale. I have no intention of bringing down your bad day another notch with the story. You should focus on the here and now. You should provide the birthday party. That's worth celebrating. And for the record, you can eventually find out why he's doing this. But I'm not going to say anything, not yet. Well, if you'll excuse me, I should really be heading home now. Job well done and all that, for both of us. Cheerio, then. Yes, tip-top. Cheerio, then. Fish and chips, Bob's your uncle, and whatnot. Or, I could simply say goodbye. You've heard all of them, I'm sure. That also works. With things winding down, there's just one last thing to take care of before I'm out the door. I seek out Gavin to handle the remains of the day. This whole chapter has been one day. All of this happened in one day. Yes. Good work today. Thanks, boss. Mid-boss, sub-boss. Gavin will do. I can't say you've been a perfect employee, but my standards are impossibly high, so just assume you were as close to perfect as is reasonable. You came to me when dealing with the stolen tickets. Good. I want you to know I'll always be here should you need me, even if I look busy. The cost of cleaning our carpets won't be as bad, thanks to your quick thinking. I'm pleased to say the sale of Mr. Moopy's magic maze for a full $3,000 will indirectly offset quite a few of these costs. I'm glad you consulted me on that and stuck to your guns on the pricing. Even if I'd be happy to be rid of that relic entirely, why it's still here is a good question. Was I not clear I wanted it gone? Percy didn't want to break up the family. They're machines, not people. He also didn't want Naomi to be sad. Yes, well, Naomi needs to learn to let go, I'd say. Ahem. Are you giving our poor little Jess a hard time, Gavin, dear? Miss Francine, I thought you were napping. Naomi's dream matters too. As does the dream of Percy, that poor fellow. Poor? Isn't Percy stinking rich? There's a reason she said 4. But again, not saying anything. Kevin, I know you mean well, wanting to keep everyone's dreams afloat, but sacrifices made in that name which shattered the dreams of others. Well, that's not what complex is all about. Jess, you understand, yes. The reason why? Why am I here? That's the question she asked me during that interview. Now I think I understand. I came here today looking for hope. Hope I could do more with my life than compromise, settle for what I can get, and go with the flow. Everybody I met today is full of hope. Gamers chasing scores, people following their passions. Nobody here is willing to give up on their dreams. Not even you, Gavin. You know we're better than this, Gavin. We don't settle. We chase after our hopes and dreams and won't accept anything less. I see. That little speech, I believe, changes depending on what answer we gave Francine. It's been a while, but I believe that. Yes, Miss Francine, I apologize. It's difficult to balance my idealism against my realism some days, but I know in my heart I need to err on the side of idealism, even if my mind screams in protest. I can assume you are still keen to work here, Jess? I don't even hesitate before replying. Absolutely. Gavin fetches a nearby short stack of forms. Fill these out tonight and hand them to me first thing in the morning. And welcome to the fun facts. Welcome to the family, I'd say. I'm sure you'll fit in just fine, Jess. Getting there. Almost done. I promise. One bus ride later, and it's home again, jiggity jig. Juniper, already home from work, bounds over eagerly to interrogate me on my day. There's a reason she got her hair not in the middle like she was over. So, how'd it go? It went well. Well or well? Really well. The little app came through, despite being terrifyingly omniscient and just a little bit unnerving. You forgot to mention adorable. That's wonderful. I'm so glad to hear things worked out. You even came home with a smile, like when you're not a lifeguard. Huh. I guess I am smiling. Interesting. And now we find out why she's over there. Did I neglect to mention that part of the terms and conditions? On the plus side, I know what I'm having for lunch tomorrow. And end chapter. Oh my gosh. That took longer than I thought. And that's only one of our cake spirits complete. Hey, look, you also won a prize. You get one of these for each level you clear, plus some extras for various endings and other hidden things. I've already unlocked them all. Now, let's check your score. Gavin seems to have taken a shine to you. I think that's just because I've interacted with him the most. You're proven to be a gentle, sweet, and compassionate soul. Kind of knew you would go there. Also, you scored 6,750 points. Nice! Keep talking to the people and your score will go up, up, up. Today's pizza fact is Americans eat approximately 100 acres of pizza each day, or 350 slices per second. Wow! Ugh. You want to save your game before proceeding to level 2? Yes. Save the game. Okay. Oh, you want to do that. Yeah. You're not doing chapter 2. We're stopping here. Yeah, so I hope you all enjoyed that. I certainly did, but my voice is giving out. And as you see, copyright 2019, so it hasn't been around that long. But yeah, I think part of the reason it's so long is because they just wanted to really give you an idea of what a day at the arcade is like. So we're gonna go back to, looks like a fighter. This is everything that's been unlocked, which is everything. This is what you get if you pick the option to not use Iris. This is a teaser for the sequel. This unlocks, I think, when you romance Naomi, and I think there's something you can do with these zip switches, but I haven't figured that out. I really tried. So here's the Funplex. Just a sketch for, I guess, a different angle of looking at the arcade. And then test sketches of actually cosplay. I guess trying to figure out what the cosplay is and what it looks like. This is for a later chapter. This is pixel art for Fist of Discomfort. We saw this one during this chapter. I think this one is during a later chapter. And then this is graphics from Mr. Moopy's Magic Maze. This was the picture we saw earlier. This one is from a later chapter. And then concept art for Francine. Just trying to figure out what the character is like. You can tell these are different ideas for her outfit. This is the one that they eventually went with. And then different concepts for her face. And this is the one they went with. And then concept art for different random people. This was the guy that we saw that wanted to play Mr. Moopy's Magic Maze. This is the dancer chick. These other characters we're going to see later. The rest of these unlock later. Right, so main menu. Yes. Okay, yeah, so that is it for Arcade Spirits, Chapter 1. As at first, no one will appear in this part. Only the characters you've romanced will show up. Oh, Iris shows up, but you can't romance her. I will say you can also romance Juniper, but Iris doesn't track the relationship with her because I think for Iris it doesn't even occur to her that you might be interested in Juniper. I mean, you're roommates, you've been friends for years. Why would you want to date her? But that's another reason. But that could be as good a reason as I needed to date her. There is a way to unlock it, but I'm not going to say anything. I found a guide that kind of hinted at how to do it, and I was like, oh, I'm doing it already. But it's like, good to know. So you get an achievement for romancing each person, and then there's also an achievement for not romancing anyone. That's another thing I like about this, is you can not romance anyone. It doesn't matter. There's a trade-off for doing either way. But I won't really talk about that right now. Because, oh my gosh, my throat is getting sore. Right, so I don't know when I'll next stream, probably not until after Christmas. But I wanted to at least get the first chapter done before Christmas. Because I celebrate Christmas. I will try to do another one, do some more streams after Christmas. But I go back to school the end of January, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to stream. This past semester was pretty intense. I was working on a big research paper, so I was doing a lot of research, a lot of reading, a lot of writing. And I don't know what my grade is on that, but I'm hoping it'll be decent. But I don't know what my classes are going to be like next semester. I don't think I've had either of the teachers before. Well, one of the teachers I know I have had, but that was for this semester. I haven't had her in a regular class, so I don't know how she teaches. Right. So basically, this is going to be how it goes. Each stream session is supposed to cover one chapter of the game, and I swear they're not all this long. This one is the introductory chapter, so it's establishing your character, and it's introducing you to all the other characters, and then kind of giving you an idea of what kind of decisions you'll be faced with for the rest of the game. But the subsequent chapters will be shorter. It will not take me almost 3 hours to get through the chapter. So that being said, I will finish up before my voice goes out entirely. I hope you all enjoyed this, and I hope you will join me next time. So have a good night. Happy holidays, whichever holiday may be coming up when you're watching this. Bye.